Hello! It's
Hey,
us!
friendos!
We're back! We have with us the 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 Planar Chaos crew here to have more chaotic adventures across the Magic the Gathering multiverse. I have plans and shenanigans afoot for all and sundry, and I think we're just gonna do the thing. Is everybody ready?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
We're blessed we left our heroes.
Indeed!
Yeah, done.
He's ready for him.
When last we left our heroes, they split the party. A DM
Easily our
dream.
best choice.
Hmm.
All campaign.
So, upon encountering the law enforcement of the High City of Thraben on the plane of Innistrad, known as the Cathars, the party found themselves in a spot of bother by being not human and weird. So, while they were being questioned, had their weapons taken from them, and were being apprehended, a pair of inquisitors arrived. At that, Rivain was not thrilled, so he decided to rob one of them, smack them in the face with their own weapon, and run away.
In my defense, they were
Bruh.
already doing the whole take them to the torture chamber business at this point.
Short chat.
Sure.
True.
Upon seeing that the door was open and that there was an opportunity for escape, Cortinari fled after Rivain, and the two of them made their way out onto the streets of Thraben, doing their best to stay out of sight and avoid the attention of the sentries and other guards that were out looking for them. Meanwhile, Theon and Evelyn had been successfully apprehended by the Cathars in the struggle and were taken down to the cells beneath this guard outpost. Theon was thankful to find that they had only taken his weapons and not other equipment, and managed to use his thieves' tools to bend the lock of this jail cell to his whim, and now can basically leave his cell whenever he wants. But since the door's pretty loud, he's waiting for a good opportunity to
I am.
do something.
So I'm meditating.
Trying to get some rest. While all that was happening, Evelyn was taken into an interrogation chamber at the end of the hall, and had a very nasty combination of the spell Zone of Truth and Command applied to her. She was forced to speak the truth, and anytime she was unwilling to speak, the command word answer was applied. After expending quite a few spell slots on Evelyn, the Inquisitors gained some very interesting information, including details on the fact that she went to a place called Ravnica and encountered strange individuals there. The Inquisitors then proceeded to return her to her cell and suggest quite heavily that she be more cooperative next time. And they proceeded to leave. Rivain and Cortinari eventually found themselves seeking refuge from the rain and the guards in an old abandoned bakery. And after taking a short rest and preparing some baked goods in the interior oven, they heard the sound of gentle footfalls upon the roof. Fearing the worst and getting an increasing sense of panic wash over them, Cortinari put 5 torch heads into the fire and then scattered the torches around the bakery to cause it to become a blaze. And as the two of them fled out onto the still wet and rainy streets of Thraben, they glanced over their shoulder and saw a fully armed and armoured angel in black gothic plate mail stand from a squat on top of the now smouldering bakery, spread her wings wide, and begin gliding towards them.
I forgot about that person. That thing.
How could you forget?
And that is what
Because
we
I was
are going
focusing on
to be-
us.
And that is what we are going to now be looking at.
Oh my goodness! Oh, it's a
Everything's on
combat.
fire.
Everything's on fire. Everything is
Oh, there we
awful.
go. Lovely.
Mm-hmm. So,
Oh,
Rivain, you are a bit behind, Cortinari because
I'm exhausted. And am I slow? I think I'm slow.
your speed is halved by
Yeah.
the second point of exhaustion. So,
Oh,
You're a goose. Yes, you're slow.
so,
I'm weighed down by this jock strap.
so,
keep tripping on the loincloth.
so, the two of you have but a moment to exchange significant glances and perhaps exchange a few words before this angel is going to be landing near you. What do you do?
Look, angels are usually good, right? I mean, I would have thought they were all good, but I've been re-examining my beliefs, and I don't know, maybe I should give Peter a chance or something. Anyway, that's got a really big weapon. That's a really big weapon, isn't it? I don't know. It's coming right for us, isn't it?
In my experience, those angels, they're never good.
Give me a moment
Defend.
here. I'm having a little crisis of faith.
Defend and then scatter.
Okay. We still gotta do the breakout though. Okay. Crap.
Okay, that's probably all
Oh.
you really have to say as this angel glides above you. You hear she has a truly heavenly voice that rings out, and it sounds as though she is reciting some kind of prayer as she passes over you, and then using her, I believe, 90 feet fly speed, which is astonishing, and I love her for it. She touches down in front of you, about there. Now she, as she touches down, she clearly has a sword in a scabbard at her side, but is not reaching for it. She touches down, has her hands up like this, and she just says, "I mean you no harm."
Hey,
Oh, fun.
perhaps you should talk to my friend. And I'm gesturing back to Rivain, who knows way more about angels than me.
I think the thing that the two of you would notice, one, because Rivain, you're a bird person, and two, because Cortinari, you are a druid, is the posture being taken by this angel is that of a being ready to take off again at a moment's notice. Like, wings are partially outstretched, knees are slightly bent, so prepared to take off if need be, but still
I'd be like that.
wanting to talk.
Hey, I'm new here. That bakery's on fire now. Anyway, what brings you to this mostly on fire end of town?
I have been sent to see after you.
Oh, well, I've already gone to the bathroom today, but
I don't think that's what she means.
She like goes to take a ginger step forward and says, "My name is Haniel, and I'm given to understand that you are. I'm given to understand that you may not be from around here."
probably the least from around here that it's possible to be.
So, I'm going to explain. I am part of the host of Heron. I work under the graces of the Archangel Sigada, and it is our sworn duty to safeguard the lives of the people in this city.
You haven't realized. I thought your angels here were like, you know, I'm so goth. Life is pain.
So, your like the way she's speaking to you is very like, it's quite a juxtaposition to how she looks, because she looks flippin' goth, but
Nice. Yeah, okay.
it's like you see a goth, go, ooh, I bet she's scary, but then as soon as she starts talking, she's just like rays of sunshine. So it's
This is my dating life throughout my 20s.
I was about to say, like, me in general conversation.
You mean an actual goth?
Yeah, basically.
Goth chick. Yeah.
Far,
Just any
far,
goth ever.
far too many people assume goths are terrifying when they're really not.
No,
They are the sweetest
no,
beings.
they're quite literally the opposite.
Mm-hmm. So,
Ah, cool. So she looks scary, but she's talking all sweet to us.
yeah, she is. She says,
Well, we're about to go break our friends out of torture prison. If you want to come to that, that's some looking out for.
that is part of why I'm here. I have been sent by a friend of mine after having received a report from some of the inquisitors that have spent time with your friends.
What? I thought they were like the bad guys. Have you not noticed you've really got like a bit of a stab first vibe going on here?
The lives of the people of this world are not easy. There's a lot of danger and mistrust that is present, and after the events that have occurred over previous years, certain parts of our security system have become very quick to anger and impulsive. It's more often than not the more wise stance to take, which is quite regrettable in your case, as I sense from you, bird friend, that you are...
Oh, hi, I'm Rivain. I'm sorry, that was so rude of me. Hi, I hold out my little hand. I'm still quite a distance from her, though, aren't I?
Okay. Yes. So, as you like extend your hand, she like goes to step closer to you, and as she does, you don't even have to make an insight check, Cortinari, to see that she kind of like gives you like a side glance up and down, and kind of like shudders ever so slightly as she passes by you. So she like takes.
Oh,
some,
Bo, you're muted. Cortinari, you're muted.
She takes steps
What?
forward and does reach out and
Keep in
shakes your
mind,
hand.
I have the spooky ass gauntlets on right now,
Mm.
so like
Well,
Yeah. radiating.
well, hers are spooky too.
Oh,
Is
yours
my
don't
audio-
actually feel like you've been lifting up loaves all day. That's nice.
Does his gauntlets actually look creepy on the outside, though? I thought it's just the inside.
I have spikes and stuff on them.
Yeah,
They
on
are-
the inside, right?
And on the outside, they look
Oh.
like a polished brassy gold color, and like on each like finger intersection there's like spikes built into the fingers that kind of protrude out. So they are kind of intimidating, but she doesn't seem to care.
A strong grip there.
Yes, as do you. Now, I will be forward with this. I have used I have used my powers to attempt to ascertain the presence of strong evil and good in my vicinity.
In her saying this, can I quickly just be like, maybe excuse me one moment. And I want to make a dash back for the door. Over here.
Okay.
And then as soon as I'm in range, I'm going to start druid crafting and putting out fires. Because that
Okay.
is one of its features.
Okay. So she just sees you run, and like is like she initially looks like, oh, what's this? And seems prepared to follow you, but as you arrive and like toss open the door and start just like extinguishing the growing fire inside, she goes, ah, okay then.
Sorry, we thought. Just give me one moment.
Mm-hmm. So you're inside just going like.
Do seem to try to kill us, or we don't know what's going on.
So yes, you're probably going to be spending the next 1-2 minutes fighting this fire, but you can battle it back far more quickly than it can spread, so it's okay.
Yeah, Druidcraft says I can put out a campfire with each 6 seconds, so...
Yeah. It's pretty good. She, so Haniel, seeing this, says, "Your friend seems well-intentioned, despite his very sinister armor."
He's pretty sweet. He's, you know, got a few too many skulls on him usually and is really into umami, but otherwise, pretty lovely. I mean, look at you. You got your whole bondage queen thing going on. That's cool. I mean...
Yes. I
Don't worry. I think that's a regional dialect. Don't worry about it.
I was referring to that large piece of bone that appeared to be mounted to his chest. I was getting a very unusual sense from it as I passed by.
Oh, well, he likes bones and stuff. I mean, you know, I much prefer, like, soft pillows and everything, and maybe a sit down and a biscuit.
All right. Now,
We all have our own things. So
Indeed.
anyway, that building's becoming less on fire. You want to help us with breaking our friends out of what I believe is a murder prison? I just got real, like, you know, you never expect the... Where are we again?
We are in Thraben.
Thraben Inquisition. Yeah, that's the one.
Hmm.
That's
If-
why I never expected it. I didn't even know.
If you are prepared to accompany me,
Yeah, but we'll do that. We need to find our friends.
yes, I can lead you back to where they are, and if you are prepared to cease hostilities against the Inquisitors, she says, kind of like gesturing down to the stolen mace you have at your side.
In my defense, they did try and bash my beautiful skull in with this.
I'm sure that once we explain the situation, everybody can apologize to each other and we can move on. So, I will continue to elaborate on why it is that I'm here.
You know, guys, come on.
I wish to...
You've been in there for 3 minutes.
At this point, you're mostly done, and the one fire left is in the hearth, in the oven.
Okay, if there's any torch remaining, I'm gonna pick up just the remainder of one torch, carry it out into the street.
Mm-hmm.
It'll probably go out in 5 minutes because of the rain, but
Yeah, it starts like
a bit of light for Rivain.
Sure.
It looks like your character's holding up the lamp.
Mm-hmm. As you make your way out, Haniel continues and says, "As I was initially just here to hopefully ensure that you were safe, but now that I'm in your presence, I have a question."
Shoot. Well, or sword, or whatever the word is here.
From
Ask it, please.
yes, from where do you draw your divine power, Rivain?
And I pull out. Oh, pamphlets are all wet. Okay, so I got to make some new pamphlets. Do you have any paper? So,
No, I'm sorry.
all right. So where I'm from, there's this really pretty angel. Her name's Sarah. I've never actually met her, but everything is really nice and sweet, and she's really cool. And my mom always said that if I did all the right things, Sarah would give me all the awesome powers. And then things started to go bad, but you know, I'm doing pretty good at like I can do a little bit of this, and I do up a little light cantrip, and like, what's this? Hey, Cortinari, how many fingers am I holding up? And I do guidance on them.
3.
Yep, there's at least 3. Exactly. See?
You hold up 8 fingers on the one hand. Like, wait, hang on.
Like, oh.
I don't know how to count.
Plus 1d4. Huh?
So
Plus 1d4 fingers.
Yeah, and I don't know, like I've been getting a bit better at it. recently over the last time since, we sort of fell in a world hole. I'm not really sure. It was very strange. And then there was this big dragon. Anyway, I'd have to write a whole nother pamphlet for that one. But yeah. Sarah, you ever heard of her? Are you friends? Like, do angels just do you hang out?
I have.
Do angels go to pub choir? Is that how it works?
We do indeed attend choir,
Really?
but we don't normally feel the need to partake in mortal sustenance.
But have you tried sourdough?
No, I haven't.
Oh! Starts rummaging through my pockets. Did I manage to make my treats in that short rest, if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
Excellent. Can I offer one of them to Hannah?
Of course.
Excellent. I offer her.
She takes it. What
It is
this?
delicious. I'm very good at this.
She takes a little nibble, while kind of protecting it from the rain that's coming down, and goes, interesting.
Yeah, secret, you just gotta give it that second rise, which is really hard when you're trying to do the whole thing within an hour while inside a burning and/or damp building.
I assume that's rather impressive, and she tucks the rest of it into a belt pouch.
I assume that's rather nice.
Okay.
I did have to patch up some of the roof.
So, I'm going to divulge a bit of a secret to you, Rivain. I hope you...
That's great. I love secrets.
I hope...
Sarah's not real.
Terrible at keeping them, but I love them.
I do urge you to keep this information away from the general citizenry of Thraben. Our church is experiencing difficulties. The figurehead upon which our faith was founded, the Archangel Avacyn, she is no more. And
I'm just holding up the mace and going, oh.
Yes, that one. And a lot of the power that she provided to us as a people is beginning to dwindle once again.
Oh, no.
However, the fact that you as an individual are able to call upon the power of faith from somewhere that is apparently not here is very impressive.
Well, I always, do my sit-ups and stuff and my wing-ups and everything.
It's something that a friend of mine would very much like to be able to discuss with you. That and the three of your friends. So if you're prepared to come with me back to the guard outpost, she will meet us there and will take us away from there to her estate to have a more in-depth conversation.
Sounds good. Also, we should probably hurry. I think my friends are being tortured to death.
I would doubt that very much, but to be hasty is appropriate. Best.
Okay. Also, I'm very tired. Can you carry me?
Yes, actually, I can.
Bridal carry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She carries you like a baby, on her hip. 8 feet tall. You're like
18 strength. Damn.
But how I'm carried?
She has 18 strength. God damn.
picks you up.
Am I over the shoulder? Am I snuggled like a baby? How tall are angels in this universe exactly?
Or just grabs your foot and drags you along the mud.
She's probably
Look, by the way, it's a kink.
she's probably about 6.5, 7 feet tall. It's hard to tell just based on the armor, but she's big.
You big.
She big. So
You big
Yeah.
girl.
so
If you excuse me, I have to turn my camera off for a bit.
so she turns to you, Cortinari, as if to be like, Rivain's convinced. Are you? Just kind of conveyed in a facial expression.
Skull.
Okay, I want to do an insight roll to see if her intentions are Orzhov like. Is this a money-making scam, or is this what would almost be like a Celeste angel or something, like a green-white angel who's all good and fairy and
Yeah, sure.
That
Joke,
seems
so
fair.
you
Go for it.
friggin' Thraben's like all black cards.
17. Well, it just so happens that the angel for which she is tethered to, the angel Sagada, is green-white. And you
He is green white.
and you kind of are taken off guard as your default stance in this situation has been like, grr, angel must be bad, must be Boros or Orzhov, therefore trying to oppress us or steal from us. None of those vibes are coming off this angel. She looks like foreboding, but the way she's been speaking and what she's been saying, she believes that she is doing good work in making sure that you are safe and that you are taken away from harm.
I am sorry if my appearance missuaded. My people believe in the cycle. And I turn into a high... well, hold on. I say, I might not be able to keep up, but I will take my swiftest form, and I turn into a hyena, which I can do 50 foot around and 100 foot if I action move, so...
Nice.
I can maybe kind of keep up with her carrying Rivain.
Okay, she says, "Oh, he's one of those." Like, and at this point, Rivain, you are like, your thighs are like sitting on her hips. She like had.
Or is it a fronty back? What are we talking here exactly?
It's a fronty back. Like
Excellent.
you're like she is supporting you under the butt from the front, and is like prepared to start carrying.
Like,
Mhm.
Rivain is strong. Like, Rivain's buff, but, you know, layer of feathers.
Of
He has
course.
a doughy ass.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so she spreads her wings, takes a squat, and in one swift movement, kicks up with her legs, beats her wings, and takes to the sky, and basically glides above the street, intentionally keeping pace with as fast as you can go, Cortinari. And the three of you begin to make your way towards the Cathar garrison. Meanwhile, in the Cathar garrison, moving this over to here,
And
Theon, Evelyn, you are completely unaware of any of what's just happened.
yup.
But Theon, you heard the sound of the Inquisitors leaving, and currently the most you can hear. Actually, Theon, please make me a perception check.
Am I still at disadvantage? I'm still at disadvantage.
You're still exhausted, yeah. Okay. You can, even though you are tired, you are sitting in your cross-legged state meditating, and you can very clearly hear three distinct voices coming from the hallway. Well, coming from a room beyond the hallway. You saw the hallway as you were coming in, and you suspected that there's like three guards sitting around like that small wooden table you passed, and it sounds like they're just like joking and playing cards and messing around.
So I can tell that the sound's coming from, where's my ruler, from that way.
Yes, and you could,
Clearly,
yeah.
and there's no sound coming from that way.
Well, it depends. Is there perhaps some quiet sobbing coming from Evelyn's cell?
She's like whispering to Myth, trying to work out how they're gonna get out of there or what she should say.
Okay,
So
I
she's not quite
If they're
crying. Like,
whispering,
yeah.
I'm assuming I won't hear that through two bits of wall.
Whispering? Probably not. No. But
Nah, I don't like have
yeah.
any cool hearing.
but
Evelyn still
Alright.
hasn't quite figured out. She still hasn't quite wrapped her head around telepathic communication.
mm-hmm.
Okay. I will then stand up,
Mm-hmm.
go to the door, and
Alright.
I'm going to listen to the door again.
Mm-hmm.
Put my head to the crack and stuff just to see if I see. Actually, I'm going to look. How big's the crack under the door?
The crack under the door is maybe like an inch, so like
Okay.
2.5 centimeters.
I'm going to get right down low,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to see if I see any movement at all on the other side of the door.
Okay. You don't have to make a perception check. There's nothing. Probably the only movement you can see is very, very dim flickering shadows coming from under the doors to the north and south, because there are sources of light in both of those rooms. But aside from that, nothing.
So I'm seeing flickering of lights. Okay. I'm going to proceed to slowly
Mm-hmm.
and very carefully proceed to finish opening this door, since I had it pretty much almost unlocked.
Okay. Can you please roll me sleight of hand? Because you can unlock the door. You are rolling to see how carefully you can open it.
Did that roll at disadvantage?
No, it didn't.
It did not. So I'll roll again.
Can you roll once more? 11. Okay. Hmm. Hang on. As you are pulling open the door, it's like very, like, you're doing it very carefully and gingerly, and you just like,
Only want to open it just a crack,
okay, you
like the slightest crack.
you open it just like an ever so subtle tiny crack, but like as you like halt the momentum and like make it stop, there's like a you go, oh no. So I'm just gonna have
It makes a creak.
yeah, like it makes a sound, and like you like stand there like paralyzed for a moment, going, waiting to see if like the sounds coming from the guards changes, but it doesn't. They're still they are still talking and messing around.
All right. Then I'm going to slowly poke my head out.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong thing. So I'm going to slowly poke my head out.
Yep.
With the slightest thing, and I'm going to look both ways and
Okay.
just suss around before I actually open the door properly.
You poke your head
Do I
out,
see anything?
check right, check left. With the help of your dark vision, you see a grayscale but dimly red lit chamber. Nothing seems to be present though.
Is that door closed?
Which door?
This one here.
Yes,
The
it is
door
closed.
to the every other door. Every door is closed in this thing?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I first of all go to this door.
Yep.
And then I listen.
Okay.
So I creep over,
Mhm.
and then I put my ear to the door because I'm trying to figure out, and I can hear their voices, the guards' voices through this, right?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to slowly go through every door, putting my ear to it. This door is going to be open so that if I need to, I can run back in.
Okay.
But I'm listening at this door and constantly watching this for any movement under this door.
Question about unseen servant.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything that you have to see where you cast it. It just says into existence in an unoccupied space on the ground within range.
Correct.
No.
You do of course need to be able to imagine where it exists. And for instance, if you targeted like to your west, that would be inside solid rock underground. So it would just
It wouldn't work.
it wouldn't work. But if you know of a space around you that you can feasibly imagine, then you can be all like, okay, it's there
Yeah,
now.
cool.
Or if you've seen
Cool,
before.
good.
Yeah,
Just wondering.
Theon, can you please
Yep.
roll me both a perception check and a stealth check? Evelyn, please roll me a perception check.
Okay. With disadvantage.
Perception.
Perception.
And stealth.
4.
Ooh, buddy, that's a nat 1. Okay, so you begin to start poking around and listening. You hear at the first door, nothing. Which door do you go to after the first?
I will actually walk away from them, which was my idea anyway before, because I want to move further away from their sound so that I make, hopefully, if I make any more sound or whatever, it's more muffled.
Okay.
So I go to this door next.
Yep. You go to that door. You listen.
Yep.
Nothing. At this point, Evelyn, you hear the sound of gentle footfalls on cobblestone coming from outside. It sounds like someone trying to be stealthy. And then, once you hear no sound coming from that door, you turn around and check the other one. Evelyn, are you going to make any attempt to be quiet, or?
Yeah, she like goes like this. Basically, it's like, I don't know who that is, and she just like claps her hands over her mouth and is like,
Okay, Evelyn, then can you please roll me a stealth check, opposed
Sure.
by Theon's perception check from before?
Please roll less than a 14.
sorry.
Nope.
Damn it.
you approach the door, you listen, and even though you swear you heard like the sound of Evelyn being put into one of these cells near you, you can't hear her coming from any of the cells in this direction.
Okay, I go to this door next.
As you approach that door and check it and start listening, you realize the guards have stopped making noise.
Evelyn's gonna go up to the door and look underneath and see if she can see anything.
Okay.
Try and peek under the crack as much as she can.
With your previous perception check, you peek underneath and you can see probably boots that you recognize as being Theon's very fey elven boots, just as he like passes by the door and approaches the other one.
Why hear this?
Oh
It sounds like she's projecting and trying to be heard. So yes, you hear a
She like,
very faint, like
puts her mouth together and goes, Theon!
All right. Do I know which direction it came from? Because I'm at this door now,
yeah.
and I'm just like,
You're like
is it this door?
You're like 10 feet from her. I think you hear that it's coming from the door you just checked. So over here.
Oh, I haven't actually checked her door yet.
Okay.
I checked the one opposite hers because I was like, I'm not trying to cheat the system. Don't want to go straight to the door. I would check every other door but it first
Fair enough.
because I'm an idiot.
Cool. So yeah, you check that door. Here, Evelyn. Call it now.
All right. I walk back really quietly, and I look at this door again before I do anything. Do I notice any movement of lights or anything from their door?
Roll me another perception check.
Go.
You hear the very abrasive sound of wooden legs scraping across cobblestone. The sound of like
Chairs moving.
of a sword being unsheathed from a scabbard and keys beginning to clink.
I whisper under the thing, Evelyn, I'm diagonally opposite you. Just stay where you are. I'll be back soon. And then I slowly go back into my cell
Okay.
and I close the door just ajar. So it looks like it's closed, but it hasn't clicked. Does that make sense?
Yep. Okay.
And then I go back onto the bed and go back into my meditative state. Like I
Okay.
just pretending to be meditative, but listening to my surroundings,
Mhm.
so that I can just open the door whenever I want. But I'm just like trying to make it. If they come in and they open the thing and they say, "Hey, why is this open?" I can 100% just go, "Wait, it was open. I could have escaped. Shit." Type thing.
You hear the sound of the door to the south open, and one of the guards makes his way into the chamber. He walks in, says, "Hello?"
I shout from my thing, "Hey, do you have any water?
"Shut up!"
I'm getting thirsty." What? But water!
Like he takes a step forward, like grabs the handle of the door to his left, shakes it, it's locked, checks the door to his right, it's locked. Everything seems fine.
Yep.
No funny business. And he walks back and closes the door.
Water! Do I hear that door close again?
Yes, you do.
Okay. I proceed to slowly open it again.
Okay.
Now that it's not clicked open, hopefully it doesn't creak this time.
Okay.
What am I rolling? Sleight of hand again?
Yes, please. Ooh,
That's a bit
much
better.
You have figured out the trick to this door, kind of, where a lot of the squeak is caused by like contact metal on metal. So you apply just like a gentle amount of upward lift to the door as you open it, and
Yep.
it swings open like butter.
Cool. And then I
Butter swings
creep
open.
over.
Yes, it does.
Doesn't your butter swing open? Mine sure does.
Buying the wrong damn butter.
And then I will stealthily, so I guess I should roll stealth,
Mm-hmm.
go back over to Evelyn. Don't roll another one, please. Okay.
No.
And now I'll proceed while constantly watching here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I should probably roll my perception. That's just for me constantly watching the door.
Okay.
If I notice anything, you'll let me know. And I'm gonna start trying to lockpick
Okay.
the door.
Please roll me dexterity plus your proficiency bonus.
Dex plus proficiency. So just a straight that with disadvantage.
Yes.
Is that right? I think that's right.
Well,
Hang on.
You would add 3 to that, but that's still really good.
Nice.
Okay.
What the?
So, this entire time you've been hearing Theon like scuttling about outside your door, Evelyn. What have you been doing?
I've been chatting to Myth, being like, "How do we get out of here? What do we do? What do we say to them? Help me!
I
You have
don't
all the
know.
answers, right?"
No.
I can't hear her saying this because that's in her head.
Yeah, it's
No,
what-
she's
correct.
actually
she's saying
she's
it.
whispering.
And-
she still hasn't
And
worked it
Oh,
out.
shit.
maybe it's just like curled up, like on the blanket, just meowing back like. Meow. Meow.
You're not helping, and she's kind of like sitting on the ground, kind of like fidgeting and like kind of rocking back and forth, being like, "How do I get out of here?"
Okay.
She's kind of like looking around. No windows, no nothing.
Well then, at this point, you begin to hear the sound of gentle clicking coming from your door.
I look underneath the door again.
You see a
And see if
pair.
Theon's shoe.
You see a pair of boots, like perpendicular to the door, kind of in like a squat position.
I stand there, I'm like, "Theon, you need to be so quiet." She's like against the door.
You're making too much noise.
Oh.
Shush.
Sorry.
And then I just continue trying to unlock it.
Okay. With rolls such as this, and since you have quite literally seen the inner workings of these locks from the back, from inside your own room, you go, oh, they're basically all the same, and just go like, yeah, yeah, and start working on it, and you feel a very satisfying click, and the door goes ever so slightly as you have unlocked it, and
Okay.
then
I
you
say-
hear something
Fuck.
coming from the hallway beyond. You hear a pair of boots that perhaps have a rather solid heel to them, make like a stern clicking sound as they descend down the stairs, and like just as you're like about to open the door, you hear a very stern voice coming from what you assume is like an older woman. She says, "Really? Is this what Thraben's best are supposed to be doing? You have prisoners. Stop playing this ridiculous game and open this door. I must speak with them at once."
I quickly, as she's like talking to try and go in her talk, I open the door and I go into Evelyn's chambers with her and close the door behind me, so that we're now both in the same thing. Actually, no. Before I do that, I forgot to shut mine. Shit. So I quickly rush over to mine, close mine, and then go into Evelyn's chambers.
You're so poorly.
Please roll me either strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics to do both in time.
Can
Doesn't
I
really matter.
assist by like holding my door open and like swinging it shut as soon as he's in?
Yes, of course. So, Theon,
Into a straight roll.
make your roll just as like a straight roll.
Bro.
Okay. I don't know what I rolled. What did I roll?
You rolled a nat 1
Yeah,
and a
it's
17.
fine. Just do it again.
Why is it not? Why is it? There we go.
Just
A straight roll.
I'll go to straight roll.
It just kept doing
13. Okay.
13.
Let's see how game these guards are to be competent. Okay. Not bad. Okay. So, you rush forward, grab your door, close it ever so gently. You can hear the sound of a key in a lock coming on the other door as you do this. You see that the light coming from that direction grows brighter, and as you jump back in and the door is closed behind you, the door was open. So it's possible that somebody may have seen what you just did. Now, whoever closed the door, did you close it with enough vigor to like snap the lock shut again?
Yeah, she would have.
Okay, so you hear the door just locking behind you, trapping you both inside this cell instead. And then you hear the sound of these shoes snapping on the cobblestone, getting closer and closer to your cell. What do you do?
How many sets of footprints are there that we're hearing?
It sounds like just the one.
Okay.
She Evelyn grabs Myth and like kind of cuddles her and like kind of sits in the corner trying to hide.
And I bend down and go, "Are you okay? Do they know who you are?" Are we
She just-
still using the pseudonym Cat?
She just shakes
Okay.
her head. Doesn't say
So we're
anything.
not calling you Cat anymore. Or we are going to call you Cat. Cool. You're Cat still. Are you okay? Did they hurt you? Okay.
You hear the sound of a key being placed in the lock to this cell.
He's like
The one that we're in?
squishing it.
Okay. I quickly look through my inventory
Mm-hmm.
and pull out my bit of rope
Mm-hmm.
and I tie the torch to it and I makeshift a
Did the lady-
mace.
Did the lady sound like the chick that was upstairs?
No.
Oh.
Oh, it's a different voice.
I think you mean a flail, Theon. But yes. So
Yeah, it's a flail.
Morning star, but flaming.
Yeah, Morning Star, but I'm not going to light the torch.
Okay, so it's a large piece of wood attached to a rope that you can like swing around and
Yeah.
smack somebody with. Okay, I'd say
Yeah.
you have enough time to like hastily to tie a knot that'll probably make this good for at least a few swings before it falls out. And then
Everyone's just looking at
And-
you like,
And I go like and I get right up against this wall,
okay,
if that makes sense, you know what I mean?
Yep.
No, this one, and I'm like,
you hold
having
alt,
it
you can
behind me?
move yourself.
and just hold the action so that when I react when the door opens, I'm just going to swing it straight down.
okay. Are you trying to be stealthy?
On the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just like huddled against the wall as stealthily as I can, I guess.
Then please roll me a stealth check. Okay. The door swings open, and
Inwards or outwards?
it opens in,
Towards me or away from me?
away from you.
Towards you, so you're behind the door.
I'm
Either
just like,
way.
shit! I'm behind a door!
They're not that dumb with how they make jails. So the figure you see now standing in the doorway is a very foreboding-looking lady. She has long black hair tied up in a bun, like a raised white collar, and like a nice pale blue dress on, accompanied by a staff and a high-collared cloak.
Does she look familiar to me at all?
Roll me a history check.
Okay. It's 19. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say that you potentially have seen this woman in passing before. You in your capacity as a servant will likely have spent time like catering and serving people at formal occasions. You potentially saw this woman like at like a highfalutin fancy gala you worked at previously.
I know her name.
With a 19, no, you don't know her name, but you do recall that people refer to her as the Archmage.
Would I? No, I wouldn't. Okay, I'm just gonna sit there squishing this kid
Okay.
against me. I'm like, "Ugh."
So
Does she notice me?
that is a very good question. I'm gonna have her make a perception check.
I'm scared for my life.
You rolled a 14.
Yeah. Yeah, she sees me.
She also rolled a 14.
Ooh.
And in games I run, when you guys tie, we maintain the status quo. You were hidden, you tied, you're still hidden.
Okay. I...
So
Meets it, beats it.
Yeah, fuck it. We're doing it. I swing it down and go, I don't think this is the right choice. I know it's not the right choice, but in character, and because it is winter, I have to. I swing the thing down, hit like aiming at her, and then I'm wanting to try and tie her up at in the same motion. Like I'm
Okay.
just like
as he,
swing
like,
down
as
to try
he
and like
swings
hopefully it
and-
wraps around her.
So
As he swings and before it collides, Evelyn like squeaks and she goes, "Ah!"
so she steps into the doorway and begins to say part of a sentence. She says, my, how the mighty have... Oh, and there's just like a thing that just comes down and hits a please make me an attack roll.
Oh
Great
Hit
attack
with
roll.
advantage.
no! What?
Oh,
You
yeah.
didn't?
Should
Oh, you're
should
exhausted. That is my skill check.
I'm
What?
exhausted.
It doesn't
Hidden.
count.
How exhausted
So,
are you to have multiple to be at
just
that
one level.
You've got to be at level 3 to have disadvantage.
You only have
you're
disadvantage
fine.
on ability
Yeah.
checks. You still have a straight attack.
Yes. So
So just are we going unarmed
yes,
strike?
yes, just an unarmed attack with an improvised weapon. So if you hit, it'll be like a D4 damage.
Oh,
Okay, so she was not.
no!
So she did not see it coming. So I'm not going to give her the ability to react to this. So you bring this piece of wood down and just like smack her across the head, and like she just gets like clobbered by you, and there's like a graze on her forehead from where you hit.
And then I attempt to grapple her with the rope.
Oh,
I'm just
Okay.
like
God.
and just try and tie her up.
Okay, please make me strength athletics check, opposed by
Evelyn's like
her,
terrified, and she's like squishing herself back against the wall.
opposed by
Oh,
her
no.
acrobatics check.
Oh,
Okay, so
yeah, it's yeah.
so you kind of
Oh,
like
no.
you jump in and try and like tie this around her, but she just like holds her staff out away from you, and like keeps the rope taut so you can't properly wrap it around her, and then she just what's she gonna do here? I think
Trip him and then bonk him on the head.
she's gonna
Probably,
cast a
but like with the bottom
spell.
of her staff. She just like trips you over and she goes dunk, and like the staff like bounces off your head, like the bottom of the staff.
Can you please make me a wisdom saving throw, Theon?
Bruh.
Disadvantage.
Nope. It's just
Why'd you roll 4 of them?
I have advantage
I pressed
against
buttons.
being charmed
It's not a
and
charm.
magic. Cool. Just want to check.
You're an elf. Ooh, a
Okay.
22.
You pass the save. She like her staff flashes, and for a moment you feel your joints kind of like lock up, but you power through the sensation and can move. She like turns to you and says, "Now, is that any way to treat your savior?"
I go to grapple her again and hesitate because I'm just like, I'm seeing red. I want to get this out of here. I'm essentially a rat trapped in a corner wanting an escape. And then I just stop and I'm just like, what? You're saving us? And then I just like drop the rope and go, I thought you were with our captors.
Yes, I am.
Then why are you treating us like this?
Why are you treating me like this?
Retaliation?
You were arrested under suspicion of crimes against Thraben. No charges
and
have been filed.
But how we were treated during that arrest was horrible. We were happy to sit down and have a conversation about this, but we were like told to give up all our arms, and then you were locking us up and all this stuff.
Yes. The Inquisitors are very gung-ho, but more often than not, they get the job done, and they find threats against Thraben before things get too dangerous. In this case, however, I have intervened, as I suspect the two of you have potential.
Okay.
Now-
Why should I? Well, should we trust you?
Because if the two of you cooperate, we are going to be walking out of this prison. Your belongings are going to be returned to you, and I am going to provide you with a very comfortable place to sleep for the evening.
Look at Evelyn and I go, should we trust her?
She just kind of.
Oh no, I say, should we trust her, Cat?
So I will ask just before we go on, Evelyn. Are you currently maintaining the disguise self spell to make yourself look older?
No, it would have fizzled out long ago
Okay.
because they kind of worked out who she was. And I presume it's been an hour since
Yes.
she cast it anyway. So, Evelyn just kind of looks at the lady, kind of like up and down, and then looks at Theon. We don't have much of a choice.
There's always a choice.
Yes.
Just which way
Stay-
we choose to go.
Stay in the dark and I get interrogated more, or a bed, I guess.
I do like the idea of a bed.
Evelyn kind of like gets up to her feet and like still holding Myth like in one arm. She kind of like brushes off her dress a little bit and looks at the lady and kind of like does a little curtsy kind of a thing, and then looks at Theon.
I bend down and pick up the rope and I say, if you are trustworthy, I am deeply sorry for hitting you. I 100% meant it, but you are obviously not the target that it was meant for. And I start coiling the rope up in my arm, just be like wrapping and tying it up.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad to see, upon seeing the Evelyn curtsy, I'm glad to see that some of you have remembered your manners.
She kind of shrinks down a little bit.
Now, shall we go?
Sure, lead the way. And I will walk directly behind her, so Evelyn's behind me, in
Okay.
between us.
You make your way out, and as you proceed forwards, she unlocks. Actually, no, this door would still be open. So she emerges from this hallway, just like tosses a ring of keys at the nearest guard, and keeps on going without even actually like properly seeing where the toss was going.
Oh, legend. I like her.
And the guards kind of give her a sour look as she's proceeding out, and you are led up and out onto the ground floor of this location, where I you know at this point these people are no longer present. So strike that. But you make your way up and out, and she stands around and waits as one of the guards just comes out carrying all your various weapons and things, and just like one by one passes off what's yours, and just like has packed up in bags what's not, and then just gives you the bag to give to whoever they belong to.
Oh, I grab the stuff and just be like, put it on my shoulder, just to carry it out.
Yeah. And at this point, Cortinari and Rivain, you touch down outside the garrison. And
I'm like this.
Who do we see them with?
it's like, oh, fuck. Because like, Rivain got a full like a whole new world kind of a montage just flying above a city.
I'm still in hyena form. I'm
This
just
is a
on the
fucking
ground,
hyena.
just who's with my friends.
Okay, so
Beast mode.
you at this point, Theon and Evelyn, you step outside and see that a very badass looking goth angel is like in the process of putting Rivain down on the ground.
Do I like? Is she obviously an angel?
She's
like, very
obviously an angel. She's big. Her wings are like twice the size of Rivain's.
It was like, "Ah!" And she like drops everything, and she like kind of like stumbles a bit backwards and like falls over, and she's like, "Ah!" and like points. She's like,
It's fine. You want to ride the angel?
what?
So Cortinari, you see that your friends have walked out of the of this garrison, perhaps a bit worse for wear, with the company of a very serious-looking, no-nonsense lady.
Oh. It's not my forte, but I want to read her as best I can.
Okay.
And just
As
be
a
like,
hyena.
knowing. Oh yeah, I am a hyena. No. It's a brain stat.
Yeah.
I keep my brain
Yeah,
stat.
you
Maintain
still
mental
you
stats.
still 100%
Because your
can.
body's
Yeah.
fat, but
So,
your brain-
are you going for like a perception check or an insight check?
Oh, if I can perception her, yeah.
Yeah,
hell
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
if I can perception her, perceive.
Is
Are you real?
she real?
And,
Are you there?
Hang on a
Is
sec.
she? The main thing that I want to read is she more dodgy than the angel person we're with?
Well, the angel person's not dodgy.
No,
From what you recall.
Great. Fine. Everything's great. What are you
From
talking
my
about?
perspective, the angel that I'm with is at least half on board.
Mhm.
So, who knows what this top hat lady's all about?
Oh, hat lady.
Yep. By like Ravnican standards, at least, she is a wealthy lady. Her clothes are very, very fine, and she carries herself with a great air of authority that probably doesn't get challenged very often at all. She's she is looking at Theon and Evelyn like she just won, and she's taking her new prizes home to.
I should appreciate
I
this.
don't like how you say that.
No.
Oh, I
My
also
friends
don't
are
like.
friends. They are not
Skin
prizes.
crawl.
Put it on the mantelpiece.
Ugh.
Let's let the bugs out.
It's the collector all over again.
In hyena form, I am going to go beyond where our angel lands and start snarling at this lady to intimidate her.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
please make
Do-
an
do
intimidation
all-
check.
Do all of your animals sort of like have the same markings? So like, if you pay attention, you
Yeah,
know it
do-
too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So for a hyena, it is super pale. It's almost albino, except for the eyes. The eyes are still Cortinari's, with this slight, almost beetle kind of patterning over the face.
That's cool.
I respect that. That's cool.
That's really cool.
All right, so we definitely could know.
Yeah.
We're starting to now know the nuances. Is that right? Right. Actually, Rory, would we start knowing the nuances of Cortinari's
Forms.
wild shapes?
You've seen enough of them at this point to kind of begin piecing it together, and when you saw Rivain and Cortinari flee, and now have Rivain and a weird-looking animal come back, you can feel like, oh, that's probably Cortinari.
I'm not going to attempt a hyena laugh while going through a mic, but no.
Does it have the beetle back sound to it as well?
Yeah, it's like
Oh.
chittery, like a chittery hyena noise.
So was that an intimidation?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
With advantage, but I just rolled a 20. But
Okay.
You rolled 2 nat 20s.
I rolled a 20 and a 10 plus 1, so advantage 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
She kind of like, so you like get closer to her and start like aggressively snarling and baring your teeth, and she just like staggers back, grasps her staff with both hands and like holds it out in front of her to like create some safe space around her, and she looks up at Haniel and says, "Is this one of them?" To which she says, "Yes. He seems able to transform into animals and doesn't seem overly impressed with you. I'm not sure why that's the case." She, like, the Archmage looks down and just says, "Stop it! It's too late, and I'm too tired. I just want to go to bed and take you guys home, okay?"
He wrestles with the staff.
Oh. Okay. Well then, something that's not like properly structured in the rules, but I think is a very amusing effect occurs. Like she grips the staff, it flashes, and like from the like end of the staff, a weird glowing yellow disc kind of begins to blossom. That looks
In your mouth?
Yep.
so you are currently like gnawing on and biting on a small manifestation of the shield spell.
While this is happening, I go, Cortinari, I think we're safe now. And then I fling over the weapons towards Cortinari and say, "Here is your weapons."
Okay. How long have I been in hyena form?
It's probably been like 10 minutes. You've got another hour and 50 left in this film.
Yeah, you've got heaps of time left. So I
Try and give some kind of indication to Theon to just like strap it on, wrap it round, give me like a bridle, I'll carry it.
Be real careful
No.
with exactly that sentence.
I misinterpret this and go, fine, I'll carry them then, and pick them back up and put them back on my shoulder.
Okay.
Evelyn's still sitting on a button, just like staring at this angel.
At,
like,
at this point, with that
I need to
tension,
sit down.
yeah. At this point, with that tension diffused, Haniel like gives Rivain like a friendly pat on the shoulder, and then just like kind of like glides just like a few inches across the cobblestones around everybody, and just like stops next to Evelyn and just extends a hand and says, "Are you okay, my dear?"
she like reaches up and like takes her hand.
It's very soft.
Oh.
She's like, she doesn't say anything. She's just like,
She like carefully but appropriately forcefully lifts you to your feet. So like it's quite surprising. But she like just like picks you up and you're like, "Oh, I'm standing now."
baguette.
And she says, "My name is Haniel."
Evelyn, and she kind of like curtsies to the angel, and like curtsies for like a little bit too long, and then she like
It is
and like tries to straighten out her clothes and kind of clean them off a little bit.
it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Now, I believe you are to be accompanying Elena and myself to her estate. And like, this is the first time you've actually heard the name of this archmage. who at this point turns around, kind of like giving like a side glance to Cortinari, says, "Yes, if we're done with the pleasantries, I would very much like to go home." And like she like snaps her fingers, and a horse-drawn cart just like very timely just like comes to a stop, like near the garrison. Cheers. Shall we?
What was her name?
Her,
It's so cool.
her name was
Anyway, and goes back to looking at the angel.
Elena,
Elaine.
the Archmage.
And so we know her name. I look over to the angel and go, "Hello, I'm Theon. What shall I call you?"
Hello, Theon. My name is Haniel.
Haniel.
Yes.
Hannah.
No, so I go, Haniel. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Do you mean us any harm?
No. I am tasked with protecting all life.
Evelyn,
Angels are
like,
good. I
Okay.
told you guys.
Evelyn
See?
like beckons Myth onto her shoulder and like kind of follows, like puts her backpack and stuff back on and or like burlap sack and stuff. Carries
Okay.
on,
So,
like trailing after this angel. She's like, oh.
okay. So, assuming the four of you are gamed, you are kind of gestured inside this.
I'm like a kid at Disneyland at this point.
Yeah.
This
Keep in mind, I also look vaguely like some sort of drowned vermin, as I am terribly exhausted, filthy. I've had the shit beaten out of me, and I'm mostly naked.
I can show you the
The world.
world.
So,
He's like hail
Shine,
running against you somewhere.
shimmering.
Splendid.
there is a very
Rain.
pleasant, well-appointed, but like gothic-looking carriage pulls up. It's got like very nice red leather interior with like spikes around the flat top, as though it were like a castle, but it's a carriage. And so
On point.
the five of you climb inside, and Haniel just beats her wings a few times and just sits on top.
I dig it.
So, point in fact,
Yeah.
if I have another like hour 50, I'm staying in hyena form and sprinting behind the cart,
Okay.
carriage until my last 10 minutes, at which I sprint, try and leap on the back, land on the very top, collapse, and then turn back into my humanoid form.
Okay. So.
But I want to keep hyena form as long as possible.
Okay. So two like slate grey horses begin to like pull this carriage along, and you don't get to the full extent of your wild shape, as after only about like 10 minutes of being pulled by horse and carriage do you all arrive outside a very stately mansion of sorts. It's kind of it's very nice, but it doesn't seem to have a lot of like side by side space. Like it's built very snugly to its neighbors, but the front garden is nice. As you pull up, a set of like spiked wrought iron gates just swing open. The carriage pulls up outside this like very nice 4-story tall, like deep slate mansion with in like the back corners you can see kind of poking up out past the roof are two like turreted towers, and as everybody begins to pour out and you step out of the carriage, it kind of pulls forward and turns around to the side where you assume there is a stable somewhere on the grounds. I'm going to now do one of these. Copy you. Boop. Now, there are some spoilers here, but I don't care. So basically, you get dropped off here.
Cool.
It's a very nice looking place, and the doors just get pushed open.
I'm not going to look at the top map. Zoom
Okay.
right in on us
Cool.
so that I don't spoil anything.
Okay. The doors are
We're at.
like Elena just waves her hand, and these two large, heavy wooden front doors just go swing open, and inside is a beautiful, like nice and toasty, warm,
Oh my goodness.
entryway. Evelyn, you wish you worked at a house this nice when you were a maid. It's even nicer than that of your of your master and mistress. May they rest in peace.
Pieces.
Off
Oh, shite.
off to the right as you enter, like kind of built into one corner, there's like a reading nook where there's lots of books on shelves and lots of like nice comfy sofas. Off to the left there's more sofas kind of around like a roaring fireplace that's keeping this room very, very warm. Up ahead of you is a very grand set of stairs that leads further into the house, and to the left and right of those stairs there are doors that probably lead into the back. Evelyn, from your experience, you know that those doors probably lead to like the kitchen or the or servants' quarters, just based on how houses like this are laid out in your experience. She says, welcome everybody to my home. Now, I do have some important business to tend to, but we are going to have a far more in-depth conversation in the morning once you have all had time to rest and fully compose yourselves. My maid here, and she like gestures to like a young lady who's kind of standing by the door and is just like startled and surprised by all these unusual characters coming in. She says, "My maid here is going to take care of you, and for tonight is going to put you up in one of our rooms in the servants' quarters. I would give you some of the finer rooms, but unfortunately, some of my upper floors are undergoing renovations and aren't fit for guests at the moment."
Just somewhere to sleep would be better than what we've had for the last few weeks.
Of course.
I much appreciate it.
She says, "Now,
I'm gonna go over.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on."
I'm gonna go over to the little maid.
Mhm.
Do they look disturbingly like Evelyn as well?
There is kind of a type of like
Yeah.
like young.
There's a uniform aspect going on.
Yeah, like young, slight women. In Evelyn, you seeing her, you immediately go, "Aw, honey, you're new," because she's like her uniform isn't quite so yet. She's missed a few important details, and she couldn't be like much older than 15. You'd guess that with the current turmoil occurring in Thraben, more and more like younger women and teenagers are being expected to take on jobs sooner, just because a lot of the workforce was decimated by previous events.
Yeah.
Thinking to 1 or 2 worlds ago,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's so much going on in my brain at the moment. Yeah, just. Oh God, what was that word called, guys?
Ravnica?
Which one?
No.
One or two?
Alara?
Jungle Land.
Alara?
Before
Lorwyn?
Well,
No, that's the home
So
one.
we've
Alara,
only
that was it.
Yeah,
Alara,
Alara.
the one where we met the necromancer, all of that. Yes. Coming from Alara to here, because we didn't actually do much of Shamasha. No, that's not what it's called.
Chandela.
That's what it's called.
went to Chandelier, which was the one that you dropped at.
Yeah. Oh, I'm having a lot of struggles with this world.
Oh, yeah.
So, you don't feel comfortable with the setting?
It's not exactly that. It's that I just want to try and punch people in the face.
Oh, it's a lot of wealth and grandeur, and that is not what Cortinari is used to.
Yeah, it's a lot of I am the lordly blah blah blah, and Cortinari just wants to be like, oh my god,
Set you free.
people, you people.
Oh.
Sorry, yeah.
That's fair.
Whereas the last two worlds, it was like fighting.
And you were and you're more in your element too, because it was like woods and jungle and things like that. But now you are back in a city.
Yeah, this would feel more homely to you because it's a city where there's no jungles in Ravnica.
I think he is going to chitter into a corner.
Oh.
That's fair.
What is
I'm
this?
sorry. I'm sorry for my outburst. I will, Miss Evelyn. Could you excuse me? I will accept your directive.
Oh, I kind of like go over to Cortinari and like console him. I'm like, we'll find you a place that's quiet and dark if that's what you prefer.
That might be better. These people do not like these pale elf ears of mine.
He kind of looks at the maid and like just nudges her head over.
Yes. Like prior to this, she was just like staring at Rivain very rudely, but just like, oh my god, and and then you're all like, she goes, oh yes, oh of course, if you will please accompany me into the back, I've got a room all nicely set up for you. I've got the fire going in there. I've got some food from the kitchen. The sheets are clean, and I can provide you with some fresh bedclothes to wear for the evening while we launder what you're wearing, if you like. So, shall we?
Yes,
That would be ideal. Thank you.
Aww.
Okay.
Evelyn's kind of comfortable bossing these people around. She's like, these are my people. I can
Yes.
take a little bit.
So at this point, Elena is beginning to ascend the stairs and just says, "If you would please join me upstairs tomorrow morning once you are well rested, we can have a more in-depth conversation. Does that sound good to you all?"
It
My lady.
Wow.
And
does.
kind of gives
Like
her
my head wobbling.
Evelyn
I
kind of
look
gives
like
her
a
a
fucking
curtsy.
Yep. So she says, I wish you all a very good night's sleep, and proceeds up the stairs and is gone. And Haniel, who at this point hasn't really crossed the threshold of the house, just says, I'm going to... I have some more protecting of people to do. There are ever more present dangers out there, and I wish to ensure that as many people are safe as possible. But now that you're all safe and are somewhere good and sensible, I will take my leave.
Did Evelyn was it sort of like a vague knowledge of the existence of angels while she lived in Thraben, but never confirmed, and now it's being confirmed?
No, you will have seen angels flying around around the church and just above the city on a semi-nightly basis for most of your growing up. So you know angels exist, but you just never really had like a face-to-face encounter with one before.
Yeah. She just watches her go.
As she flies off, I'm gonna be like, sending me!
Kill me.
And she just flies away and leaves you all there.
Wow.
The maid at this
and
point
really dance.
Yeah. The maid at this point will lead you into the back of this place. She takes you down this corridor here, and as you like make your way through the halls, she like presents you this room. It's nothing overly special or large, but she has she has fulfilled the promise. Whether there's a fireplace in the room with a fire going, so you walk in, it's nice and warm. There's like a small coffee table in the center of the room with like chicken and like and roast veggies and things like that, all just on a table, all still piping hot. There's like candles on nightstands next to the 4 nice beds, and there's like a chest at the foot of each bed, and on it there's like nice like beige linen like nightgowns. She says,
I'm like one of the nightgowns over and just reaches underneath and with one hand seemingly, and up comes the job strap. There's like a whip noise of some description.
mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Well, guys, I'm pooped. Like, oh boy, I've never been this tired before. I really need to look into like getting some exercise so I got some more stamina or something. I just get so tired these days. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just gonna. Okay, guess they're staying on. Good night.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay. As the maid is kind of just standing in the doorway, Evelyn, you see another one of the maids kind of come up behind her and like elbow her out of the way, and this maid you recognize. You believe you have like, you know, those fancy highfalutin functions where a lot of rich people will have worked or attended. In situations like this, like a lot of rich people like pool their staff to help a function go ahead. So you probably had a few encounters with her at gatherings like this. Her name is Anna, and she just pokes her head in and goes, "Evelyn, is that you?"
She's kind of like rummaging through the linen. She kind of looks up. She goes, Anna.
Evelyn.
She kind of like goes over and gives her a brisk hug.
Ah, what are you doing here?
That's a long story.
I was told that some guests would be arriving of the mistress. Is that you?
Oh, I guessed hardly, but I guess it's staying here as a guest. Doesn't feel like it though.
I'm sorry to hear that. Has Gertrude not been making you feel welcome? She's new. I'm sorry.
I can tell. And she kind of like looks at her like loosely knitted apron.
Mm-hmm.
A loosely sewn apron.
Yeah, and she just like skulks away.
Oh.
She says, "Is there anything I can do to make your stay more comfortable? Do you need more food? Wait, do you want me to run down to the shops? I can probably get you guys some stuff.
Oh my.
I know the
My
boy,
ears
yeah,
prick
yeah.
up
I know
and go, oh.
I know the young man that assists at the general store. Perhaps if you guys give me some coin, I can get some supplies for you."
Do I know the boy at the general store? Would I have known his name?
You probably would have known about like a young dweeby kid, like 13 years old, a few years ago,
Yeah.
called like Samuel, who was like
Samuel.
always kind of annoying,
Mm.
but he was the kid to know because his dad ran the general store. So it sounds like in the years since that he's like grown up a bit and is now helping his dad.
Yeah. Well, for the time being, somewhere to bathe would be great.
Of course, yes. I will bring in the tub.
Thank you.
And
Just
and-
just this goose head pops out of under a blanket, like, close, please. The jock strap is awfully smelly by now.
Oh,
Close?
gross.
of course, if you like, I can take all of your measurements and I can get some things adjusted for you.
And I go, maybe some clothes that will help us blend in a bit better, please.
Of course.
I kind of look down at my dirty maid's dress. I'm like, maybe a new one.
I think
Or
as
Commoner's clothes.
I think as a guest of the mistress, we can do you a bit better than a maid's dress even.
Oh, I feel most comfortable in a maid's dress. I'm surely fine with that.
Of course.
And I look at Evelyn and I go, Evelyn.
I've got this much, and I hold up my little purse.
Okay, so
Like, we do have money. We can pay.
yeah, so
And I'm like, Evelyn, you've got all my money now.
so
Hey, we should offer something in reward.
I will just say, mechanically speaking, she is basically doing a run to the equipment section of the D&D player's handbook. So if there's any like general adventuring supplies you want her to bring you, if you give her the money for it, she'll have it for you by the morning.
I could use some armor, actually, although I'm completely and utterly broke.
I have money. Not much, but
Yeah.
I have all of...
What kind of armor do you want?
Fidget.
Preferably something heavier, but again, money.
Yeah, we have a fuck ton of gold, remember?
You have a fuck
Yeah,
ton
we
of
got the.
I don't. I
You've
don't.
got
You
all the
have
gold.
You have the big gold pieces.
Rivain, if you need to see a blacksmith, and each coin is a small saucer plate size.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could
The
wear them
gold that we have
armor.
into
They're
plate.
How many do you have?
size, and they don't have the right amount of holes in them.
I have 205 gold worth of ogre coins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Weren't
ogre
they
coins you
5
have-
gold each?
Yeah, they're 5
Yeah,
gold
basically.
pieces
Yeah.
each. If
Holy
you have,
shit, you have
no,
heaps.
he has 102 gold pieces worth of these coins. So he has like
102, yeah.
So it's
20
41
of them.
coins, and each coin is worth
Yeah, 41
5.
points.
Yeah. So
Yeah, 41, that's
heavy.
massive.
you
So
pull
if
it-
you are trading these with an armorer, you can just slam a bunch of these on the table, and we can get you a chest plate. Fucking.
I'm actually just looking up the thing. If we're willing to put in for that, what can we afford?
well,
How much do
I
we
have
have?
11 gold. I have 11 gold pieces.
the one downside.
two-
I have
205.
nothing.
Leon's money.
I will say, Rivain, the one downside to you wearing armor that's above light is you can't fly in it.
Oh, you can't fly in it.
You can't fly.
Oh, right. It
in-
don't work like the other ones, do they?
No.
No.
Ooh.
Get ring mesh or
man.
something, if that's a thing.
Well, I mean, studded leather would still be
Mithril.
awesome.
Yeah.
Mistral.
What about just a breastplate, like a solid breastplate
That's
strapped
medium
on the
armor.
back?
For the sake of, theming, like, I'm more than happy with the stats of studded leather, but can it be be in the imagination as a bit of breastplate or
The
something? So it looks like that cool image we found.
Aiming
No, a
Master.
spiky cup.
Yeah.
It just protects the genitals.
So
It's a gladiator cup.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you explain what you,
I need some really light metal, like, do you have any alfoil?
Just some tinfoil. just wrapped
Make it
around
look
it.
pretty, but protect me a bit. I don't.
I've heard
Leather with alfoil on it, please.
I've heard from the blacksmith's son that there's a thing called spring steel.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who
Who gets it?
I'm not gonna get.
Yeah. So,
But look, for mechanically work, Rory, just studded leather level power.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's 45 gold.
Mark off the coin and add it to your inventory
Oh,
for the
lovely.
morning.
That's
And
45. I can do that. That's cool.
Any other purchases? Like ammunition,
Commoners' clothes.
like
Ammunition, shit.
other weapons, like
Are we
like
are we
adventuring gear.
counting ammunition?
Actually, want to
Yeah,
grab the spear.
Eventually.
I'm pretty low.
Eventually. I still have
Eventually.
15 arrows.
Yeah,
I've got like
Probably
15,
less
so
by now. It's probably
maybe
about
some
6 or
more
7 now.
arrows would be good.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's all good.
Again, giant gold plate. You want to go and spend 5 gold? Here you go.
Meh.
Looking down at the table of food and stuff, is
Mhm.
there like fruit and vegetable and mushrooms and stuff there as well?
Yeah.
Cortinari.
There's good hearty vegetarian options present as well.
Good.
Start digging into it.
Beetles are
and be
far more
like,
tasty.
Hmm.
Sorry.
It's all good. So, as everybody like we don't have to argue through all your purchases. Basically, if you want to buy stuff and you can afford it, mark it off on your sheet, and it'll be there in the morning for you. Anna takes all your measurements, and she brings into the room, with the help of Gertrude, a porcelain bathtub. And just like and parks it in the corner, and over the course of like half an hour, they're like bucket brigade hot water in from the kitchen, and you have like a half full tub of like crisp, clean, warm bath water to use.
Dibs first
Um,
pass.
I grab one of the blankets and hold it up behind me and go, "There you go, Evelyn."
Oh. She goes, thank you.
And I'm just
And gives you,
facing
like, a
facing the other way, just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
God,
Yep.
guard your prosperity.
Arms up, smell emanating. Evelyn, you think maybe he should be
Oh.
next?
Like, "Ugh."
Oh.
It's like, oh.
I'm gonna go and take a bath and then change into my night clothes.
Mm-hmm. You are wearing a nice, fresh, clean white nightgown. It's very
hair.
soft and comfortable.
My hair's all damp. I'm like braiding it down
Mhm.
over my shoulder into a little short braid as I get out of the bathtub.
Sorry, can I double check? Is my spear silvered?
No.
Okay. Damn it.
Would you like it to be silvered?
I asked for
Yes.
silver arrows.
Yes!
Okay. Well then,
I'll spend the extra money.
Oh,
yeah.
actually,
I mean, yes!
do I? No, hang on. That's gamifying this world. Do I know there's werewolves in this world, and do I know the werewolves are weak against silver?
Based on where you're from,
Because I assume not.
you wouldn't know
Okay,
that
fair.
werewolves are weak to silver. Make me a history check just to see if you remember. It's possible that Evelyn like mentioned werewolves being a thing.
Was it
Do
mentioned?
as well.
I'm not sure.
I think we told you, or someone said something about there being werewolves in this universe. I
Um,
cannot remember.
You have a recollection of a creature called a werewolf. It wasn't explained to you what a werewolf was, but they sounded dangerous.
Yeah.
Alright, so I mentioned to her before she goes, what are these werewolves I heard of?
She kind
And
of like, oh.
And is there something that's strong against them if I happen to come up against this scary type of wolf?
Well, I've heard stories of creatures called werewolves, beings that seem like humans, but become more ferocious under the moonlight. I've never considered the possibility of encountering one. It just seemed like a tall tale, but with the things that have happened recently, I don't know. I don't know the best way to deal with them. Perhaps stab them really hard? I don't know.
Has Evelyn
And
ever
I won't
heard-
get any silver.
Evelyn ever heard stories of ways to either like protect yourself against them or like fight them, or is she not really?
You two can roll me a history check, but you can do it at advantage because you're from here.
Let's do a straight roll.
Yeah.
Woo. That's 11. Average.
You would be aware of the strong link between werewolves and the moon, but I don't think you would recall off the top of your head about the whole silver weakness thing.
Okay.
Oh.
I kind of like so I was just heard like wives' tales, scary stories, and that sort of thing that they told to your kids to keep them in at home at night.
Yep.
And
basically.
I like sitting on the bed, cross-legged with Myth in my lap. I'm kind of like patting her.
Yeah.
And I kind of look at Thea, and I'm like, I can tell you some stories if you like.
I'd love to hear some stories of the beasts that roam your world. But I assume, like every creature, without its head, it will be dead.
Oh, look, I learned that the hard way once about the one that just had more heads under their head. And every one of them had more teeth.
Yeah, there is
That was the
hydras
worst
on
caterpillar.
yours.
Like as Anna like kind of like ships up and gets prepared to leave, even like launches into some scary stories about werewolves and stuff that she would have like shared with the younger staff in the household, or she would have had told to her at a young age. So they're all like corny and like even your neighbor might be a werewolf. A flash of lightning in the background.
Werewolf.
Like the candles all flicker.
Yeah.
She's sitting there with like a chicken drumstick in her mouth.
Ripping
She's
it
obviously
apart.
like in her element in a house like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like back in the servants' quarters, hanging out, like finally somewhat comfortable after many weeks and months of being in strange places.
In the dirt, in the grime.
Don't know if this is a thing in D&D, but is a sharpening stone a thing?
Not
Like-
really.
Like a whetstone? Not really.
I mean, it's assumed
Because
you
I
have
ask
one
her-
and use it.
Yeah.
Can you? I'd be like, can you see if you can get a whetstone to sharpen my blades?
You'd already have one, basically, or
Yeah.
have the knowledge of how to, it's a rock. Or you can use a rock.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I assume then I have a rock on me or whetstone, and
Yeah.
as Evelyn's telling these stories, I'm just like sharpening my swords as it's happening, because I'm just like always preparing. I'm just like because I'm constantly, because it's winter and my traits are I'm looking for danger and I'm expecting danger all the time, so I'm just always being prepared.
Okay.
She's like shink shink.
So,
Yeah.
Rory, I've had a look at all of this Innistrad card art in the interim here, and I'm
cool.
sort of hoping that 45 gold gets me like one of those sweet leather overcoat sort of things. I'm guessing they go for.
Like a duster.
Yeah, they go for sort of the Bloodborne looking nonsense.
It's
Yeah.
the Jace that was on Innistrad.
Yeah, and he had like a very
Because
fancy.
that's the jacket I want.
Okay, so as the evening draws to a close, the piles of food begin to dwindle, and the fires burning in the hearth begin to get dim. Everybody starts to curl up and gets comfy and goes to sleep.
Please, Rory, can I hit the long rest button? I'm so thirsty.
Cortinari.
Ace Unraveler of Secrets. The art of that.
Yes.
That's the jacket I want.
You get comfortable in your bed and you begin to enter your trance, feeling properly safe and well for the first time. And as you begin to go through your mental arithmetic, you feel like the equivalent of a spectral knock at the door.
Yes,
We need to talk.
I know.
Now seemed like a good time. Your mind's at rest, yes?
Well, I would like to get a proper sleep if we can.
That won't take long.
Well, okay. What
Okay.
kind of body do you need?
So as you like focus and engage with this, suddenly you are in like a weird two halves split circular projection of a chamber. Your half is like very pleasant, like probably somewhat akin to the interior of your home, underground on Ravnica.
It's it's stone pillars wrapped with kind of vine growths. If you look closely, the vines are not exactly photosynthetic surface plants, but it's all nature. It's things that grow in places where light is not available. So, I'm thinking another good example is like the ocean fumarole kind of thing, where it's like fan. What are they called? Fan anemone? Or
Yeah, okay.
yeah, those things like springing up in the wall. It's all kind of it's very lush. It's greens and blues and purples glowing from the wall. All it's exuding life,
Yeah.
feeding off something.
It's very pleasant and relaxing. Your half. The other half, which you're facing, is a very jarring juxtaposition. It's like a swampland that's seen 100 battles. There's just like dips and crevices and unpleasant, sickly water flows, and like discarded weapons and bodies just hither and thither, and kind of at the center point of this, there's like a big rib bone kind of just like sticking up out of the ground, and then there's just a portion of like the flattest portion of the rib. It seems to be acting as like a table, and then it bends back down and sinks into the ground, and kind of sitting on his side, sitting on top of like an ogre skull, is like a visage of this Alaran necromancer, and kind of opposite the rib, there's like a simple stone stool on your side.
Forward, and as I walk forward, there's like I know it's a dream lord, but I still cast druid craft, and around me more mushrooms spawn, more little shapes spring up around me, and I reach my little stone seat, and I sit down. Yes, yes, we must speak in earnest. There's much we must decide.
Yes, I agree. Now, first things first. I've changed my mind. I wish to stay.
Now we need to measure the contract.
Well, as you may have noticed, this object you're carrying around holds a not insignificant amount of power. I was initially alarmed by it and hoped to be free, but now that I've spent some time here, had a conversation with the people who are here, I feel we can come to a mutually beneficial arrangement.
You mean my people?
There are more people in here than your people.
They are all my people now.
Interesting. Well, how would you like these people you're carrying around to be put to good use?
Wow. Now you state something interesting for us both.
Well, I can't imagine in the heat of battle you have the the sense of mind to try to organize 30 plus individual spirits to do as you wish. It's a challenge. I've tried. It's unnecessarily complicated. But say,
Organize the minds of millions. You must persuade so many more. So if you can help me,
of course, you can promote me to your lieutenant. Give me the ability to organize and provide direction to some of the spirits in here. Then all you have to do is slip me a bit of magical energy, and I can help them help you.
and what about the body?
Let's talk about that another day. I was curious at first to regain a body, but I see the potential in this object that I found myself in. And if the two of us work together, who knows what we could achieve.
Sorry, Rory, like 3/4 of that's cut out for me.
Oh no!
Yeah, your audio cuts out a little bit.
Damn it! He just says, if the two of us work together, who knows what we can achieve.
You cut out again.
No! Come on!
Nope, I was reading lips. If the two of us
Work together, who knows what we can achieve.
Good achieve.
There
Yep.
we go.
Yes.
There is only one thing I ask of you in return.
All things need exchange.
You are clearly doing a lot of traveling. I'm not going to ask exactly how it is you're doing it, but the spirits I've been speaking to have very unusual backstories. I don't know how it is that these beings exist or where they're from, and I don't really care. All I know is, if you're able to travel to places that most can't, there must be a lot of information available. If you keep me apprised of your comings and goings, and perhaps give me some juicy details, especially arcane secrets, then I can make this device more powerful, and then you can become more powerful.
I might be able to help you interpret. What voices do you hear? Give me the gist of their accent.
Well, there's this one over here, and he like gestures, and there's like a very skittish looking goblin who's dressed like he's from the Izzet, and he's just like, ah! What's happening? Where am I? He's very difficult to reach. Doesn't seem to want to believe anything that's happening here is real.
Doesn't understand anything said to him, but do I understand the accent?
He sounds like a goblin from Ravnica.
These are all my people.
Oh? Even this one? He waves his hand again, and standing next to him is one of his acolytes. You know, how this necromancer had goons, like the buff, shirtless German guys who were like casting spells outside that cave. Like one of those guys appears and he says, "I believe this is one of mine, though."
I hear his voice. I hear his accent.
Yep.
He's one of yours. But now his power is mine.
It can be.
As you are mine. You are just one voice amongst 10,000. You are the strongest. And so we might strike a deal, but at the end of the day, you're all one of mine.
Please make me a persuasion check.
Fuck yes. Minus how many?
Oh, it's good.
My charisma's not great.
That's
so
okay.
There we go.
He says, oh, of course, whatever you say. Now, how about we seal the deal with an official introduction? He like extends a hand over the rib table and says, "My name is Mundy."
Mundy.
My name is Tuesday.
I reach behind my back for the machete that I've always carried, but I don't know if I exactly have it back at the moment.
You have a mental projection of your belongings.
And I cast a circle of blood on the table, creating a Devkaran binding pact.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this is a real thing or if I'm making it up.
So it is now.
It's a real thing
canon
now.
now.
Congratulations.
You
I am
just made
making
canon.
Devkaran ritual magic. That's the words that I'm looking for. And I want to use my at least spiritual astral blood to write on this table of stone and bone before us, casting a pattern. And if he can discern the pattern, what it is that all those of the skull are unto my behold unless they can overwhelm me through absolute means.
Okay.
In other words, fight me.
He
Bring it, bitch.
he gives it a once over, pulls out his own like cruel like jagged knife, like one of the hooks like catches one of his fingers, and he basically goes through and like basically writes exactly what you've done, but smaller and inside the circle that you've done.
Pact bound. We are united now. We will see each other through.
Indeed.
I will see you through to something, and you will see me through to, well, if I can become the leader of Ravnica, what will you become?
A very influential friend.
Wow. The leader of a realm, the next leader of a realm, who knows?
Well, I think I think that's about all I was hoping to discuss. I wish you a very good night's sleep, Cortinari. I will see you soon.
And your name?
Monday.
Monday.
Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Not a D&D campaign if your players don't make fun of the names you write.
God damn it! I thought it was clever.
It's
Oh,
awesome.
I thought it was
Love
good. I like it. Why
Okay.
is Wednesday Adams the only one with a weekday?
Yeah. So
Right.
We now have Monday Adams.
it's spelled
Monday.
M-U-N-D-Y.
Monday. Like Bundy.
Mm-hmm.
M-U-N-D-Y.
Mhm.
Okay, I did M-O-N-D-I, so...
That works. And so you fall into your trance once more.
My catatonic sleep at this stage.
Everybody
'cause
wakes up and Evelyn's gone again.
No.
Shut up.
Nah, it's this time. Theon's the one that's disappeared.
Oh gosh.
No.
Panic.
Uh,
Evelyn's going to kill some people again. Classic.
hang on a second. I am sending you a message, bro.
Excellent. Oh, I'm so fucking terrified.
And you should be.
Dun, dun,
Good,
dun.
good.
You just made a pact with the devil.
Aha, with a necromancer.
I just made a
Or-
pact with a necromancer that I keep within my arcane focus.
Bitch, please.
What's life without a pact with a necromancer? Let's be honest.
Well, it seems to be going pretty good for me. Why do you bring it up so late at night, by the way? Also, Cortinari seems to be having a weird nightmare or something. Anyway, I'm sure they're fine.
They're
You've seen the message.
Max power.
It seems quite flavorful, no?
So, was this the normal clothes in this sort of area, Evelyn? Like this? And I've got
she's
like the...
passed out on the bed.
Oh,
She's like,
no, everyone's asleep still. Okay, I should probably go back to bed. Maybe this is a hallucination. I'm very tired.
maybe
Okay.
I'm dreaming.
When
And I'm just meditating, cross-legged on my bed. So you just look over at me, thinking I'm awake, and just like, wait, is he breathing? Maybe.
Talking,
Yeah.
Right, you were saying.
Like once a minute, there's a tiny snore, but otherwise almost deathly still.
when the four of you come to consciousness on the following day, you have each completed a long rest.
Finally, you get that? We finally had a long rest.
It's been a while.
And we recover 1 level exhaustion because we had food and drink.
Yes.
Which means I'm only exhausted.
Which means I'm only
By 1 level.
exhausted.
Okay. Now,
I am. Sorry.
So, when you arise in the morning, you realize that this maid Anna is pretty damn stealthy. As you kind of glance down at the like trunks at the feet of each of your bed, and all the things you asked her to get are there for you. So, Evelyn, you have a fresh new maid's dress. It's crisp and it's clean, and as you pull it on, it fits perfectly.
Like a glove. Can I try?
What's your new spells that you do?
Actually, yeah, do I have any freaking words on my arms? Can I try and like incorporate my leather armor into my maid's dress?
Yeah, sure.
Like, does it look weird if I wear it like over the top?
I always I always imagined that it was kind of like a flexible but structured like brown leather bodice. So like you can put on the leather armor, have it fit quite snugly. There will also be like braces and like shoulder pieces too.
That's, yeah.
And while it's not exactly like supremely maidly, you can like put it on and like tie all these pieces on, and it looks fine. And like as you're putting it on, you realize one other feature that you assume Anna may have like sewn into it.
Pockets.
Yes, actually, but
Yes.
but
Pockets of holding.
no, just pockets.
Damn it.
Oh,
But-
come on,
but-
give
but-
pockets of holding.
But there is something else. Unlike most maid's dresses, there's like very subtle pewter buttons that run down the front from your hips down to the ground, and you realize as you're kind of examining it that if you want to, you can like undo some of the buttons and then like pull the front portion of the dress up and like attach it to your belt to
You can
make
run in it.
Yes, you can run in it.
Yes. My biggest gripe with dresses
Genius.
are lap. You can't run in them. That's awesome.
Yeah.
They're just not
Okay,
flowy
so
enough.
I put my very very worn in the pants on and stuff under the dress, and like the greaves and the soft gloves that I have and stuff, and my boots, and I'm kind of like tactical maid.
Yeah.
Are they greaves of lightning?
No.
Or
Heckin' lightning greaves.
die.
Do I
Okay.
have
Yeah.
pants again?
Rivain, when you wake up, you have a very dapper outfit in front of you. There are, like, if you're...
Goose.
imagine, if you will, the kind of clothes worn by the military in the musical Hamilton.
Oh, mwah, mwah.
Yes.
You have,
Wow.
like... So you have 3/4 length brown woolen trousers with like
Like a jodhpur style, where they're thick
Yes.
at the top and then go down.
yeah, with like
Nice.
if you are familiar with like the things you would put over a pair of boots that are like kind of like waders, but they go up to a certain point and like protect your legs. So you have those two, and they allow you to like have the talons of your feet out, but like under the sole of your talon and above
Yeah.
is just like kept snug and protected from the elements and things like that.
Like sort of spats sort of thing.
Yes, spat. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like that. Then you have like a nice, like simple linen shirt with two large like slits at the back, so you can put it on and your wings can poke out. And the same is true for the like crisp, like slate gray, like fancy ass military looking jacket you put on. It also has like gaps at the back for your wings. And finally, there is a backpack that's not actually a backpack. It's basically just a thing that looks like a backpack that you can put on over your wings to hide their presence.
Wow, cool.
That's sick.
So it looks like you're wearing a backpack, but just your wings are like sheltered and protected and hidden away.
Oh, sneaky. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Cortinari, I'm going to send a picture of what you have been prepared just a messenger. Essentially, the extent of what you have is like fresh underclothing just for general comfort and things, but because you have very like involved armor that's like peak aesthetic, not wanting to detract from that, basically you have like a very big loose leather overcoat that you can pull over your like bone scale mail armor to be a bit more incognito. It's got like a high collar belt to secure it, and on top of that you have like a nice wide brim banded leather hat.
Nice.
Okay. Given time setting to, I'm kind of countering like 1100s versus 1500s, somewhere in between. So a big cloak with the appropriate sigils that I can throw over a shoulder, and then some big droopy hat to hide my ears.
Yeah.
And so I can appear like a very pale ecclesiarch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm in like the full gothic high collar trench coat deal. Like, I don't think Cortinari buys into gothic.
That's fair enough. And finally, Theon, the center image of the three I've just sent through is the kind of clothing that you have been provided. Evelyn, you would recognize this as a very quintessential look of the Kessig region of Innistrad. It's got like lots of furs, tight leather around the chest, like a fur mantle, a nice fur hat with flaps, and it seems that a pair of holes have been like poked in it where your horns are. So if you like, you can put the hat on over your horns and have it look like your horns are just like part of the hat as opposed to part of your head.
Yeah, I dig that. I dig that.
Sorry, Rory. I only just got your message. It took a minute to come through. Yes, I totally get the leather shepherd with the crook.
Mm-hmm.
But to that outfit with the crook, he does have a little head element so he can shield himself from the sun when it occasionally comes out. So,
And yeah, mine's the same, just like a hood.
Of course.
Like
just hide
Jace.
the ears.
Like Jace.
Don't want...
Oh, Jace. Yeah. So yeah, you have been provided with local garb.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so cool.
And any other equipment you were after has also been provided to you. And now,
I actually can't think of anything.
and now,
Pants again. It's been months.
and now that you have properly arisen, it's time to go upstairs and have a conversation with Elena.
Spooky.
Da-da-da.
Yeah.
Okay.
None of us looted the room.
So
Don't loot the room.
I'd say also that they're waiting for you on the table is like a simple breakfast of like porridge and oats and some things like that. So it's like as you're getting dressed and like really feeling yourselves and going, damn, we look good. Just like enjoying some porridge, getting all ready for the day. And now that you're all decked out, looking very local, you can go about your day.
You continue.
What?
I'm here to satisfy the audience.
Oh, someone's
Satisfy the audience.
Ash. God damn
Someone
it!
asking.
Yes, Ash. Flippin' Alice's
Make
partner
Alex dance.
has. Oh.
Okay.
It better be the subscriber dance. It's
I
like the
we were given 100
overlay
bits
that pops up.
to make Alice dance, so
That's it. That'll do it.
that's a cut.
It's the overlay.
Just go home also.
Yeah.
I'm in so much pain.
Oh no, are you okay?
I'm fine. It's just first dance class back in months.
Oh no.
Okay.
Everything's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
It's all good.
Just
So,
pulled something as she's dancing.
so
100 more to see her do it again.
100 more because you made her suffer.
All that.
so the four of you, along with Myth, get all set up and ready, and make your way out into the main hall, and proceed up the stairs.
Ooh,
Now, I will say,
the truth.
as you are making your way up the stairs and are getting towards the top, you begin to realize that her mentioning the fact that there were renovations was a bit of an understatement. You see that there's like strands of cobwebs just kind of like hanging from like the edges of the walls as you're going up, and the more you climb the stairs, the thicker they kind of become. And
Cobwebs.
and when you make it up to like the top landing, you look around and
You don't get eaten by a spider.
see that there's like mist rolling in from your left and your right, and is kind of just filling the hallways with a very heavy, dense fog. And as you kind of like try and bat it away, you realize it's making it very difficult to see your surroundings.
I don't like this.
I quickly grab my rope out
Mm-hmm.
and throw an end to everyone and say, guys, everyone, grab some of this rope. I have a weird feeling about this.
We
Evelyn
did get
kinda
a long
holds-
rest, yeah?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Evelyn kind of holds Myth a little tighter on her shoulder.
Okay. So, in terms of what you can see from your immediate surroundings, there is a large set of doors directly in front of you, like directly opposite the stairs, and then there is a path you can take to your left and to your right.
Can I try the big set of doors?
Yeah, you like go and try and open it, and it's locked.
Odd.
So we're locked into this building.
No, you've gone.
No.
You've gone up the stairs.
Steps. There was
Oh,
a
up
set
the
of
stairs.
stairs.
Yeah.
There was a set of stairs at the top of the. There was a set of doors at the top of the steps, and they're locked.
Yeah.
I just kind of straighten up and just walk in the mist off to the right.
Okay, you walk off to the right. Are you like pulling people along by the rope that was given to you?
Yeah, I'm like, we gotta go. We got stuff to do.
Yeah.
I like hug
Let's
them
go.
all
Hey, just like bugger it.
confidently.
This
striding
obviously
down
is
the
a-
hall.
This is obviously a normal thing in this world.
Okay. you proceed off to the right, kind of just like staggering and stumbling forwards. Evelyn, you walk forward about 10 feet. Yes.
Yes, sure. I was just gonna
Same
keep walking
time-
until I get to a door.
I want to cast down Dead Spirit.
Oh, okay.
And I want to have my undead spirit in ghostly form just peek its head in through the door and then talk to me.
Okay. So, Cortinari, as you're bringing up the rear, you turn around and shape a new spell, and as you do, the eyes of the skull veil kind of flash a sickly purple as a ghostly spirit is manifested before you.
Ooh.
Slightly gory in purples and blacks with little green flecks off the spectral form, but it leers in through the doorframe.
Mm-hmm.
Looks left, looks right, leans back out, using the incorporeal passage ability.
Mm-hmm.
The spirit can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain.
Yeah. It,
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
it comes back out and it says to you, ballroom.
Do we hear it say ballroom?
I don't know how exactly can it communicate with you. So
I may double check if it says anything, but I
Yeah.
think it would just be in a ghostly voice.
okay, so
So we
I
hear it.
I assume if it's speaking, it has a language.
Ed?
It's speaking in.
Summon undead spell.
It's speaking in Elvish. It's a dead elf.
Yeah,
I
okay.
understand it.
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
So yeah, it says ballroom in Elvish.
I'm like, where the hell's that ghost coming from, and why is it telling me to go to the ballroom?
So I can't see any like open doors or any people in front of us.
So you walk forward 10 feet, and you see that the passage you were following continues on straight ahead, and also proceeds to the right of you.
I'm gonna just kind of turn around and like squint down the other hall. And kind of look around, and I'm just gonna go, Madam Elena. Just kind of
Can everybody
look
please?
around.
Can everybody please make me a perception check?
I'm just
No
like,
disadvantage anymore!
sorry, what was it?
I can make
Investigation.
two because mine's at disadvantage.
A perception check, please.
Oh, are we in direct sunlight?
Nope, you were
Plus
indoors.
8, no, 12.
Oh, this is gonna do its thing.
Plus 8 and you're only on a 4?
Damn it. Yeah, I know.
Look at me. Rolls an
Do you wanna make
18.
good at disadvantage again, guys?
Am I winning?
What'd you say? What was that, Cortinari? You got a plus 6 as well.
Oof.
Yeah, but I rolled so bad.
I rolled a 4.
I cannot
Oh.
see your roll, Nick.
Yeah.
You rolled a
I'll
2.
just come through. I'll just go reload roll 20.
I rolled a 2 and I rolled a 3,
Oof.
so take it with the 3 because I'm not at disadvantage, so I get a total of 9.
So at this point, Theon, with your very like jumpy, skittish
Yeah.
nature, being like trying to be prepared for everything,
Yep.
you're kind of just like, what? Like you heard the Elvish and you went, oh, what's that? And then you hear a very unusual sound. Like you hear very, very small footsteps of something like moving across the wooden floor, and you hear like a shrill, childish laugh that goes and just leads off in an unusual direction away from you.
In The Shining, you follow the kid in the tricycle.
When can I try and recall last night when Elena went up the stairs, which direction she went?
She turned right.
Okay, so we're heading in the
And you
same
have to.
direction that we saw her go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'm just gonna go
Um,
and start trying to open doors,
okay. I mean,
kind of walking across the.
are you going to keep on going straight or turn right?
I'm gonna keep going straight.
Okay. You.
I'm going to follow the laughter and tell everyone, I heard laughter from over here.
Okay. So you let go of the rope and proceed in the opposite direction from everybody else, and kind of wander into the thick mists that are occupying this place.
I kind of call.
Yeah.
I kind of call out to Theon. I'm like, if there's children,
let go of the
bother
rope.
them. Oh.
I don't let go of
Oh.
the rope.
Okay.
you
So
start
so
pulling it.
100%. Not
Okay.
let him go.
So you have like the main body of the rope and are just allowing more slack to go out as you walk.
Yeah.
And you proceed in the opposite direction.
I said to him, I'm like, if
Yep.
there's children, don't bother them. It's not your business.
Evelyn, you lead everybody else down the hallway, and eventually you come to a T intersection where you can go left, you can go right, or it seems that there's a set of closed doors in front of you.
Can I try the doors?
Locked.
Come back and just go. All right, fine. I'll come with you guys.
Okay. Actually, Theon, so you made your way in the direction of the sound, and after like walking towards it and hearing the laughter get louder and louder, you approached a door, and it was hanging ajar.
Yeah, now I want to open the door. I shout out to the guys. Guys, there's a door open here with sound behind it. Is this where we're supposed to go?
Knock on it. See what happens.
And then I'll knock on the door and say hello.
You
I
hear
send my spectral undead through the door.
the door in front of you, or Theon's door.
Theon's door.
Okay.
I'm hearing these creepy little
I've been following Theon, and I'm
ting
not
noises in
sure
audio.
what.
Scary.
Yeah, so like Evelyn's behind me, guarding. I'm up with Theon. I'm following exploration with him.
Okay.
I'm not guarding. I'm just going and trying to open doors and shit.
Yep, so, Cortinari, your spirit, like, floats partially through Theon, which sends, like, an absolute chill up his spine. And it, like, pokes its head through this, like, ajar door, comes back and says in Elvish, "Bedroom."
We may find a little wealth in here, but it's nothing more than bedroom.
Do I hear you saying we may find a little wealth in here?
At this point, you guys are, like, hang on. No, not that.
A ways away.
You are maybe, like 80 feet apart,
Oh, jeez.
like
no.
around a corner.
No.
So Evelyn, you are at an intersection. You can go left, right, or try to open the door somehow.
I'm gonna kind of ask. I'm gonna ask Myth. I'm like, can you help me find Lady Elaine, please?
Are you doing it telepathically?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I've remembered,
Yeah.
like, the reason it wasn't working yesterday was because I have to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Myth says, I can try.
That would be great.
And so she just like jumps off your shoulder and scurries away into the mist, and she gets to like 10 feet from you and you just cannot see her at all anymore, and she's just like exploring on her
Okay.
own.
I'm gonna head the other way, the opposite way to the way she
Okay,
went.
so she went down a corridor to the right, and you are going off to the left. Now, Rivain, I feel like you've been following Evelyn up until this point. Are you going to stick with her?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm just like, I don't know what's really happening with this.
Mhm.
But on the other hand, how good are pants?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We got
Did Elaine
pockets now.
did Elaine tell us to come and find her in the
Yeah.
morning? Okay.
She just said, "Come and find me upstairs."
She didn't want to literally try to have to find you.
Mhm.
Come on.
Yeah.
So, Cortinari and Theon, are you going to check inside, or carry on?
Yeah, I'd check inside.
Okay, you.
I
So
open the
just-
door.
Yep. You.
Yeah. Push it open.
Yep. You push the door open, and as soon as you do, you realize that there isn't any like heavy fog or mist inside the room. It is dark, but you both have dark vision, so you're fine. It seems like a nice but simple bedroom. There is a double bed against the back wall, a table and chairs off to the side, a large wardrobe against the back wall, and yeah, and that's about it.
So I believe summon undead is not concentration, so I will also bloop, 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 bloop,
Summon,
and throw up 4 glowing orbs.
summon undead is concentration.
Oh, it is? Then
Yes.
never mind.
All good.
I will take out one of the 4 torches I have. Theon, do you have flint and steel?
Yeah,
Oh, never mind.
I should.
And I use Druidcraft as an action to light up a torch.
Yep.
And help us all out.
Okay. So
If you have a traveler's kit.
So the two of you proceed further into the room and start just investigating.
Yeah, because I'm like, I heard sounds in here.
Okay.
What?
Also, I just want to burn stuff from my backpack, so...
Can the two of you please roll me a perception or investigation check? Your choice.
Can I cast a ritual spell while I'm moving around?
No.
Okay. I have to stay still for the casting time.
Yeah, basically. You sit down and study and concentrate, and then you go jabber dabber dabber dabber. Magic.
Oh.
I'm going to investigate.
Okay.
How'd that go?
Hey, 16.
Yeah.
Was your first roll?
Well. Okay.
And I rolled a 22.
Solid.
I assume everything is fine.
Okay.
They haven't seen us yet.
Okay.
I'm also not trying to be stealthily either,
So.
because I'm assuming I'm not hiding from things.
Okay, so the two of you walk into the room and start poking around. It seems that this place is pretty much unattended most of the time. There's a thick layer of dust on a lot of the furniture nearby and on the floor too. But as the two of you get closer to the bed, Theon, you're like just examining it, checking the sheets, and you hear kind of a scuttling, and then you hear the sudden sound of chain, and you hear the sound of some kind of mechanism being locked shut. You look down and you see that attached to one of your ankles is a length of chain, and as you panic and go to pull on it, you hear the sound of metal dragging along, and as you pull it back, coming out from under the bed is a ball and chain, except the ball is covered in big rusty metal spikes. And as you kind of look down and go, what was that? You see a small porcelain doll look up at you, go, and just run for the door past you.
Oh my god.
Can I react to that
Don't do creepy dolls.
and smash it with the torch that I also have in my hand?
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Okay.
Like the Benevientos.
With
I had to Google it.
yeah, a 14 actually misses.
Oh.
You
I shout out and say, "Stop that doll!"
and it's just
Okay.
running for the door.
My ghostly apparition,
Mm-hmm.
if we're working out the good concentration, can my ghostly apparition be sweeping through the door and collecting the doll as it sweeps through and attacking it?
It can certainly try. Please make an attack roll.
Ooh. Plus. Oh yeah. Okay.
15. Okay, a 15 is going to hit. So
We know
it's-
15 hits.
Yes, so it's using its deathly touch ability.
It's the ghostly only one
Yes.
that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1d10 force damage.
When it's
I'm not dead. That's a
Oh,
D20
no,
plus
if it
10.
ends itself inside.
It's-
Oh god.
1d8 plus 3 damage.
Yep. Sorry, I was looking at the one where I was turning worry.
That's all good. Yes, wait, it's 1d8 plus 3 plus the spell's level, so it's 1d8 plus 6 damage. So yes, roll damage.
Spell level. Spell level is level 3 though.
Yep.
So yep. Cool. So that drop on.
So
5 plus 3 plus another 3 for spell level.
okay, this
Oh, it's 16?
it's 11.
That is a total of
Yeah. Okay. This ghostly elven apparition just phases through the door, reaches down, rakes a hand through this porcelain doll, and it kind of just like splutters to a stop and collapses onto the ground, and you just hear the sound of its like porcelain face crack as it hits the floor.
There goes my soul.
Evelyn.
Kills everyone dies.
You and Rivain are proceeding down a hallway. Can and the two of you please make me perception checks?
Yeah.
Can.
Just remember what I need for.
Woo. What do I see with my third eye?
Oh damn!
I'm at disadvantage, so I only got 17.
That's still pretty damn good.
I only got a 17.
I only got a 25, guys.
Just 25.
I only got a 17. I only got like way higher than I'm average.
Yeah.
I only got a nat 20.
Plus 8.
As the two of you are proceeding down the hallway, you hear kind of like slight chirps and murmurings. Rivain, you would immediately recognize these sounds as that of like raven caws, and just as you're about to be all like, what is... All of a sudden, out of seemingly nowhere, there is just an absolute barrage of ravens just coming out of nowhere, swarming all over you, going ah ah ah, just battering you and batting at you and like almost bodily pushing you backwards away from their source, just screaming at you. You both get attacked. Evelyn, since you're at the front, does a 17 hit you?
I want to, like, can I have a, can I use my shield? And does it, like, come flying at us?
Yeah, sure. So, these birds just launch at you. You cast a shield spell, and the birds that were attacking just kind of, like, bounce off, but keep on swarming. Rivain?
No, it doesn't hit me.
No, it does not hit you. Does a 19 hit you?
And I try and do the same thing, except I can't cast that spell, so instead I just get hit by all the birds.
Indeed. You take 9 points of piercing damage as these birds just like snap and claw and caw at you, and
like
guys, no!
And
oh no! It's like primary school all over again.
And these birds are just like battering you and kind of knocking you back, and just from their presence, you feel like you should run away because it's just a lot.
Guys, here, take my lunch money. Take it. Take it.
Oh my gosh. I stand fast. Like I'm just like kind of gritting my teeth against it.
Okay.
Hoping that they'll like pass.
Okay, so when you say we get a sense of like as in this feels like an otherworldly force, or is this more of a birds don't want us to be here sort of thing?
These birds are actively bodily colliding with you as they swarm, and like actively knocking you away from where they're coming from.
Okay, so they're not attacking, they're just leaving.
We're attacking. I'm getting pecked.
Yeah, they're attacking.
They are attacking.
Okay.
As you glance around, being all like, "Oh God, is there a door?" Like the wing beats kind of like carve a line through some of the fog, and you look back at the way you came, and you see that the door to the library you don't know that the door to
a room.
The door to the room you tried to open behind you is now hanging ajar ever so slightly.
Slightly ajar, did you say? Sorry.
Yes. For
flavor, can I like, and like kind of like force them away from me for a second, and then make a run for the open door.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sort of like a
You have this
force push for
this
the
moment
door.
where you're like, this shield's about to drop. You like magically cut it in half and go, and then just like turn around and run for the door.
And then I'm in my mind, I'm like, Myth, I just got attacked by ravens. I hope you're all right. I say in my mind.
Yep. The birds are continuing to like swarm around you and batter you, and then Rivain, I assume that you're following.
I am
Okay.
totally.
The two of you jump through. Oh god. Jump through the doorway and find yourselves in a relatively mist-free library. It seems quite pleasant, and not long after you walk in, you hear the sound of a cat just like scampering, and it runs in behind you and just like it's like bodily pushing the door closed behind you.
Oh, but I like open the hell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
The myth just looks up to you and says, "Big worm, big worm,
Big worm.
big worm."
I say out loud, big worm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gross.
Tell me more about this big worm, cat.
It had.
You just hear a meow, and I go, big worm. Meow.
You hear meow, but Evelyn, you hear there was like a dozen ghost arms coming out of its mouth.
That's disgusting. Why is this place awful?
So
Evelyn, what's the cat saying?
Oh, there's ghost arms coming out of the ghost evil big
That's
worm.
not a worm. Worms don't work like that. Worms are delicious.
No,
So-
they don't. There's something up with this place.
So-
Oh, I hate it.
as the two of you like catch your breath and look around this place, you are in a library. It seems to have like big, tall stacks of books going up quite high. There's a series of like those wheelie ladders kind of attached to the side of them. There's two large windows off to your left, and to both your left and right there are tables. On the table to your left, there appears to be a large leather-bound book kind of on a lectern, just present. And to your right, you can see a ghost. Kind of wrapped in chains and like weighed down. It too has a book in front of it on a lectern, and it's just sitting there, just like looking at the book, and every so often a page just turns by itself. And it keeps on looking at the book.
It wants to read! No!
This terrible existence. I'm gonna kind of eyeing it off. I'm gonna kind of like walk past it, and I want to go and look out the window and see if we can see anything.
Okay. You go and make your way away from the ghost towards the window. As you do, you're passing that like the big heavy book that was sitting on a table by itself, and this book is creepy as hell.
Like it.
It like
Are we made of skulls, sort of
Bad
thing?
juju vibes.
Economical level?
the spine of the book appears to be made of finger bones, and there's
It's got a skull on the front.
it's got like it kind of looks like the flayed skin of a hand, kind of like pulled taut across. Across the front of the book, and like a small intact skeletal hand is acting as the clasp holding the book shut.
Yikes.
Yummy.
Oh, they really love that aesthetic here, don't they, Evelyn?
And
I like kind of eye off the ghost and then eye off the book, and then
I know.
walk to the
and you approach the windows, look out. These windows are thick with fog, just like the corridors were, where you can't see a thing outside.
Can I blow the fog away?
Can you blow the fog away through glass? No.
Oh, it's on the other side of the
Yes,
glass.
it's on the other side of the glass. In this room in the
I was
library,
like-
so
Right.
there's no room in there's no fog in the library. It's empty. It seems as far as you can see, the fog is exclusively in the corridors. So you see that. I'm just gonna jump back to Theon and Cortinari. So you have dispatched a creepy doll that's now just lying broken on the floor. And Theon, you've got a spiked ball and chain attached to one of your ankles.
I walk up.
I attempt to move wearing this spiked ball and chain.
Okay.
So that you know, I have a 14 in strength.
Okay, you start to like drag it along. You are able to move, but you don't feel as fast as you would normally be. Mechanically speaking, this ball and chain halves your movement speed and gives you disadvantage on stealth checks made while you are moving.
How heavy is this ball? And how long is the chain?
The chain's only about like 5 feet long, so it's pretty
Okay.
short. And the ball itself, you would be remiss to actually try and pick it up because it's covered in spikes, probably by design to avoid someone just like picking up the ball and running with it.
But can I pick it up via the chain?
I wish to slash the chain with primal savagery.
Okay.
So just acid damage, acid melted off his ankle without damaging him as much as possible, if possible.
Okay.
Am I present?
Unpick the lock.
Yeah, you're present.
Okay.
Yes. So please go ahead and make an attack roll.
I was just thinking, you know what? Let's just make use of it and have it a new weapon. Spiky ball.
It's
So-
it's tied to your leg. It's not really a weapon.
Yeah, I kick it at people.
There you
Ooh.
go.
It's one of
16
those,
acid damage.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. You like
Finally.
hold the chain taut, look up at Theon and just say, "Don't move," and just like one long like claw comes from a finger. You go, and carve a wedge out of one of the thick chain links. So your cut does part of the damage and leaves behind acid that kind of just eats away at the rest of the link, and then you can just like forcefully pull it apart. So he still has like a foot of chain attached to his ankle, but now the ball's been left behind.
Now what we do, you got a little thingy. Like, just wrap that up. We tie it for now, and then we get a blacksmith to see to you. But we have a better mission.
I like this. But do we take the spiky ball with us?
You mean the dangerous spiky ball? Fuck no.
Could come in useful to hit people with.
Well, you try and carry it, because I am fucking not gonna do that.
So then I attempt to try and pick it up and see
Okay.
if I can lift this ball.
Please make me a strength athletics check.
Ooh,
Yeah.
boy.
You
Oh.
you like shake away the acid burned link and leave that on the ground, and then just grab it by the chain. You've got like 3.5 feet of chain left. You just like heft it off the ground and go like, okay, and just like playfully start swinging it around. It's very heavy, and it's taking like constant effort to keep it upright, but you can do it.
All right.
Well, buddy, you walk forward, I watch your six, and then we try and save our friends.
Keep swinging as we're walking forward, and I'm just like motioning side to side as I'm walking because it's actually just moving, and I'm going now with it because it's rather heavy.
Oh my
So
god!
it's just like so I actually don't have heaps of control over it.
No, not
but-
really.
I'm moving forward and it's swaying at the same time,
Okay.
just slightly hitting walls as well, just making big bangs occasionally.
So, the two of you make your way out of this room, back out into the hallway.
Easy.
Like you absolutely leave
stuck in a wall.
several like dents in like the wood paneling of the walls as you go.
Yeah.
I-
I'm
I-
just
I-
like, oops.
and you make your way back out into this house and start exploring further.
May I please cast detect magic while I'm in this room over the
Sure.
next 10 minutes?
Yeah, so
I
you
kind of pull out a seat and gingerly sit down.
just take a seat, kind of like eyeing up the unpleasant book that's next to you. You like you roll up a sleeve, start examining one of your arms, and go like,
Alright.
okay, yes.
This one.
Okay, so so Rivain, Evelyn sits down and starts to practice self-care. What do you do?
You're doing the thing. That's a ghost, right? Oh, you're busy. Okay. Hello, ghost.
Okay, you kind of approach the ghost slightly, wave at it. It kind of looks up. It's quite archetypical as a ghost, where it looks like it's just a humanoid shape covered in like a ratty old sheet, except like around the torso and the arms, it's just like wrapped in heavy chains and seems to be like chained to the ground. And it has like a creepy hole where the mouth would be, and like indents over the eyes. It just kind of looks up at you and goes, and then it goes back down to reading its book.
Oh man.
Well, it's not
That's
just a
always
sheet with
so rude.
coals cut out of it.
No.
Well, okay. Evelyn's doing her thing. I'm doing this. Ooh, what's this? And I look at the great big spooky book.
Okay, you approach the great big spooky book as Evelyn is ritual casting detect magic. You walk up.
Checking your arms.
Are you gonna try and like crack it open?
Look, I want to get an idea, because at this point I've been doing this for a little while, you know, and I've started to learn that maybe, just maybe, with my 20
If you
wisdom,
wait.
touching everything might not be the best course of action.
Okay.
Smart.
As a result, I'm going to pull out a little baguette.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to poke the book with it.
Okay.
Your baguette rots.
You pull out the baguette, poke at it. It seems like the front and back are very sturdy. As you like run the baguette up the side of the paper, it seems that it's actually not paper, but just like thin sheets of vellum. So like thin hide and leather bound together to be the actual pages of the book. And like this book's maybe like this big. It's pretty chunky. It's like A2 size for the pages. It's a big book.
Conquer.
The big book.
But
Gotcha.
Big boy.
But poking at it, it doesn't immediately react to you poking it.
It seems safe. What would Evelyn do? Rivain, don't touch it! Don't! She's no fun. Evelyn, you good there? Yep. Yeah, you're okay. I'm just gonna. Right. Yep. We're good here. And I don't have any extra senses or anything. Can I spend this time, in fact?
Mm-hmm.
Look, basically just keeping watch while Evelyn's doing that.
Okay.
Is that a perception roll or investigation or something?
Yeah, sure. Just roll perception, just to like keep your eye on your surroundings as these things are happening. Okay. 18. You don't.
I'm actually being the team player.
Yeah. You start to hear like occasional thudding sounds coming from the hallway outside. And
With my 18, does it sound like my allies thudding?
Does this sound like a wrecking ball?
I mean, would Cortinari voice concern at damage to the property being caused by this ball? Because if not, it's just the two of you walking around in silence trying to figure out where your friends are.
I mean, like, a claim of a kill is one thing, but a claim of absolute destruction is another thing. So that's even if what I'm doing at the moment, which I don't know what's going on. So
Okay, so Rivain, you hear that, and like as you're also hearing that, you notice something about the spirit that's reading the book. It has been proceeding through this book at like a decent clip, but as you kind of like watch and wait, you realize that the actual like the amount of pages that the ghost is going through doesn't seem to be changing. So it's like it's open like this, and in theory you'd imagine eventually the book goes from this to this as it goes through, but it's just staying exactly the same. As and like
the same page keeps going back and
yes,
forth, but
exactly the same
reappearing
page
on the other side.
keeps on going over and over and over again.
It's a
Sorry.
sign.
oh, shut the fuck up now.
Am I done, Richard?
That voice in my head.
At this point, so you realize that, Rivain. At this point, Theon and Cortinari, the rope that you guys had used to like figure out where people were is still on the ground. So if you want, you can just like follow it through the mist and get a good sense of where your friends ended up.
100% follow that while still holding this ball of wrecking.
Yeah, so you proceed down the hallway and make your way up to this door, and as you step inside, Evelyn, you see Theon walk in with like a spiked chain, like a spiked ball
I think
on a
you would
chain.
hear me walk in.
Yeah.
You hear this, so you'd probably be like, what the hell?
With Cortinari in tow, with another ghost walking in behind him, that's now far more clearly visible because you aren't in a hallway full of fog anymore.
I point to the ghost and just say, easy, to the side. We will wait for what we need to hear.
And
Nice.
and at this point, Evelyn, you finish ritual casting your detect magic. Your senses are kind of expanded, and within the surrounding 30 feet, you can get a sense of magic present. You look down at this book, and it's like a freight train just drove into your brain. The amount of magical force that just slams you in the face by looking at this book, and you're like, ah!
Gosh. Oh.
I shouldn't yell. People live here.
Evelyn, so is the spooky magic book, is it magic?
Ah,
So,
ooh.
I believe as part of detect magic,
I can tell.
you also detect the
Cool.
school.
Yes, indeed.
This book
Introduce me.
is flippin' very necromantic.
Necrotic. Like, okay, cool.
It's a very, very, very necrotic book.
I'm like
Your
covering
wheelhouse.
it in my view. I'm like, hi guys, don't touch the book. I'm like,
Oh,
trying
but
to-
what about that? And I hold up the baguette.
Yeah,
Is it
don't touch
okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Should I
Okay.
put this on there? And I like
No,
hold
touch-
up
Oh,
the
no,
spiky
no.
ball and go, I can leave that on top of it.
Avoid it. Just, why did you get that?
Well, this creepy little doll attached it to my leg. So I thought, I'll take it with me.
Oh,
That doesn't make any sense.
all right.
And
I
then
like
you're
it down your
like, that
ankles,
doesn't
you're
make
like
any
working
sense. And I'm
through.
like, oh, okay. So I just drop it. Does the ball fall through the ground?
The mansions on Innistrad are made of hardier stuff. So while you do leave like a half a foot deep indentation in the floor,
Everyone's like,
it's
oh my god.
it's still intact.
Evelyn's just like, that's not how you treat your host's home. What are you doing? Oh no.
Evelyn,
It
Evelyn,
chained me
what
to
do you
it.
mean? Let these fools decide what they must. What do you mean?
Ooh. Don't destroy the home. There's obviously something going on here. We don't want to.
The
Irritate.
heart of the necromancer?
Huh?
I mean, that object there.
I never said anything about necromancer.
Wait, there's a necromancer? Where?
I just
Sorry,
said
I
the book's
thought
bad.
you did.
Yeah, she's just like, the book's bad. Don't touch it.
Okay. You mean
It obviously
that,
looks necromantic, but
that book there? I'm not a man of words. I'm a man of the weave. Give me a look
just don't
briefly.
touch the book. And I'm gonna
Okay.
go
I'll
over the
stand
ghost.
back. I will
Yeah.
stand back.
I'm gonna go over the ghost
And
and
I'm
suss
gonna,
out the ghost.
5 foot, 3 foot, attempt to read the page.
The book's shut, I believe. The necromantic book on the table is shut.
Yes,
On like a plinth.
and on another table on the opposite side of the room is a ghost reading from a different book.
Now I'm gonna go over to the ghost and suss out the magic over there.
Okay, there is the ghost, the chains wrapped around the ghost are magical, and they have an aura of abjuration magic. So clearly, these chains have been enchanted to contain the ghost.
Oh.
And the book radiates some form of enchantment-based magic.
What's on the page?
On the page is basically really, really upsetting words. It says things like, "You're a disgrace.
Face.
You're a disgrace. Nobody loves you. Nobody will remember you. Your legacy will amount to nothing." It's just like it's a page.
You burn.
Yeah,
You fall.
It's just a page full of really, really unpleasant things, and like as you watch, it seems like this ghost is being forced to read the same unpleasant page over and over and over again. This sounds like a very cruel afterlife to have been forced upon someone.
Oh.
I'm like when I've leant in to read, I've like got my hand on the back of his chair and I'm like leaning over and I kind of look at him and I'm like, oh, buddy, it'll be okay.
Is the chain real or is it ethereal or ghostly?
The chain,
Magical.
the chain around the ghost is physically present, and it's had magic applied to it.
Is the only thing in this library like, is it like a wall of books, and then 2 tables?
Yes.
So there's nothing beyond the bookshelf?
At the north of the library, kind of in between the 2 windows, is a statue of an angel, and at the south of the library, past the chained up ghost, is a large tapestry just hanging from ceiling to floor.
I'm guessing they're of angels. The tapestry.
The tapestry is actually a group of spellcasters. Like it's like 3 well-dressed mages, kind of like calling forth dramatic and flamboyant magical effects.
Is Elena one of the mages that's on the tapestry?
No, but one of the mages does look like similar to her. Like there's a woman who is like pale skin, dark hair, long robes. Maybe a relative or an ancestor. You're not sure.
Stuff.
Hmm.
And did the statue was just sort of a generic angel statue?
Yes, it's a common sculpture. Cortinari, can you please make me a wisdom saving throw?
Don't do it, it's a trap.
I will do it.
Of course you will.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get so I can actually see the window where I
Oh.
Also, I don't know if you intend it, Rory, but we're still on the bottom floor map.
Yes.
I presume it's intended, yeah.
I have another map that I'm using to navigate you guys, but I don't want to actually show it to you because spooky.
good.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm channeling the theater of the mind just for
That's good.
dramatic effect.
Yeah, I gathered.
Cortinari,
There we go. Yep.
You rolled a 9. You hear Mundy pipe up in your head. He says, We had a deal, Cortinari. Why don't you go and look at that book? I'm sure-
Monday. Do you want the little young one, or do you want the rich old one? I could offer you both.
That book.
Are you saying
looks-
this in your head?
Yeah, probably.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That book's look.
Take it.
That book looks very promising.
Can I pull my trident out and feel sorry for this ghost and attempt to just poke his foot? To
You
take
mean
his
the
soul?
ghost that I summoned, or the ghost in my head?
No.
Because
The
I
chained
have
up
ghost
ghost.
No, the
Chained up.
ghost reading the book.
The ghost reading the book. Okay, so
'Cause
you want to absorb its soul.
Theoretically, he has a soul
Yeah.
which my trident wants to harness.
Okay. Please make an attack roll with advantage against this ghost. It can't. It's
With-
not. It's
With
chained
the
up.
trident?
Yeah, with the trident.
Oh.
You have advantage because it's restrained.
Who's restrained?
Okay.
The ghost that's chained
Yeah.
reading the book.
A 16 is going to hit. You just pull out your trident and go like. And as soon as you make contact, like the red runes along the trident just flare, and immediately the ghost and the sheet with it just kind of go and just like implodes into nothing, and then your trident just like hums and feels warm, like it's happy. Add 3 charges to your trident.
Evelyn just like,
Add 3 charges to your trident.
Yep. I was just like, oh shit.
what did you just do?
I think I set him free.
Free.
Ish.
Did I get a sense that he's just set this ghost free? You know, because I've got a vague understanding of
He
undead.
fucked it so
Look at
with his
that
pride.
voice.
It's the opposite
I
of
can look at
free.
that voice in my fucking head.
Mm-hmm.
Is that red voice of... Is he still there?
What do you mean?
Giovanni. Was that his name?
Monday?
Oh. The guy who's just talking to me, is he still
Mundy.
there?
Monday.
Monday?
Yeah,
Giovanni, where'd Giovanni come from?
yeah, yeah, he's there still. Rivain, please,
Separate ghost, right?
Rivain, please roll me a religion check.
Okay.
Book's still there
The
Nah,
book-
not great.
Not great.
that he was reading.
A 5.
The book is still there. And the chains like fall to the ground as well. Rivain, you aren't entirely sure what happened. Clearly, this spirit has changed state, and it's no longer where it was. You don't know quite what this trident is capable of. You just know that the spirit's gone now.
Are the
Okay.
chains still enchanted?
Yeah.
Can I go over to them and like poke?
Okay. You poke at the chains. They react as chains would.
Oh, can I like grab it?
Yeah, I mean, one end of the chain is locked in several loops, and the other end is just like tethered to the ground. So if you want to like take the chains with you, you can try and like pry this brace free from the floor.
Yeah.
These-
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, these chains seem
kinda like-
powerful.
My feet on it. I'm like,
Yeah. Please make me a.
Can I help?
Yeah. So either you both make me strength athletics rolls, or one of you makes it with advantage.
Would you like to go advantage, or would you like us both to roll?
you roll. Brent and I will roll.
All right. So we're doing. What are we doing?
Th-
Athletics.
Yep.
There's
Neg 1.
athletics.
It's a 15. Well, I've rolled better than you and I have a neg 1.
You rolled better than me, and you got a neg 1. I got my +2.
With by your powers combined, you are able to like
We are Captain Planet.
to pull the bracket free, and now you have a length of like I'd say it's like 20 feet of enchanted chain.
Yes.
And I
I
let go. I hand it over to Evelyn and go, we could use this later. You can have it.
Thank you. I might have to. Who knows?
We're trying to find that archmage lady, and
How many feet
she
did you say,
said
Rory?
she's
Sorry,
got a
20
creepy
feet?
library with ghosts. And also, I got bit by some birds. It sucked.
Yeah, I got pecked by the birds too.
Where do the birds come from?
They were in the hallway. There was also a worm thing.
Worm?
Present. Do I detect anything else magical about the room?
Actually, yes.
Can I start poking everything with my trident?
Don't
Sure.
do that.
You
I
can
see you
start-
going to steps up. I'm like, don't do that.
you can start poking around, but like, so you were initially like focusing on the objects, but and since you haven't used to detect magic much before, your main goal was just focusing on objects. But as you like expand your perception and look around, you realize the entire room is radiating like a subtle background magic.
I don't like this place.
Yeah,
I like
bad
Myth.
vibe.
I'm like, Myth, what's your take on it?
I don't want to see the worm again.
Oh. I won't make you. I like
Can we
get Myth
check
and, like,
other
sneak up on them.
rooms?
I don't like that book.
And as she points to the book, I go, Triton.
Actually,
poke
hang on.
at book.
Wait. Don't you dare touch it.
So as you like
So I'm like this far away from poking it, and I'm like,
as you're
okay.
like surrounding the book, talking about it, Cortinari, you're trying to like not think about the voice in your head. The book, like the clasp holding it shut, falls off.
I was gonna say, and I like,
Allow
exactly,
me.
like, I just summoned Mage Hand, and I'm like, and I've got like
It's
this
easy.
extra corporeal hand.
I mage hand myself. It's an invisible mage hand. It floats. It sits in the air, 3 feet away from me.
Mm-hmm.
I start to read the pages. I don't actually touch. It just floats there.
Okay, so you pick up the big chunky book, open it, and begin to read.
With Mage Hand.
Okay.
I'm using one Mage Hand to like sort of hold the book open because obviously it's probably a bit old and it's kind of like.
Okay.
Now I really want to poke it because it's floating.
So you
And I'm like, why is this floating?
So you begin to study the book, seeing the various arcane glyphs and patterns, and you're going, wow, this is actually really insightful. It seems like a very well put together grimoire of the dead.
Can I like look at Cortinari and kind of suss out if anything's wrong?
Well, at this point, Cortinari, your eyes are kind of like beginning to lose focus on the actual individual glyphs, and you're more kind of like staring off into the idea of the book. And as you're like looking at it, and the pages just like turn.
Can I make a roll on that? I want to keep myself.
Okay.
If that's a thing.
Please make me another wisdom saving throw.
Can I suss out if Cortinari is alright?
That's cool.
Well, I'll let you know if he's alright, depending on how this roll goes.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
That is not great.
Okay, so you
There we
kind of
go.
like lose yourself in the book, and even you begin to notice that Cortinari is a bit different. Like previously, he was kind of just like mouthing his way through the book as he was reading it, but then he gets to a certain point where his mouth is kind of hanging open. He's just staring.
Can I like sort of step between him and the book because he's not physically holding the book. Can I step between him and the book and like grab him by the shoulders
Yeah, like you.
and like kind of like block his view of it?
Grab him by the shoulders, but Cortinari, you're still just staring off into space. Your vision gets blurrier and blurrier and blurrier, and you find yourself standing on a barren, swampy moor in pitch black darkness, with a large silvery moon hanging above you. You look around, and you can see various shambling forms emerging from the shadows, making their way towards you. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh, what the heck?
Because honestly,
Right.
I went too deep on this. It's flipping at 11:20. I'm sorry for going so long, but,
Oh, wow.
I was keen to get to at least some of the spooky house. I was really excited about it.
Oh, God. I didn't even realize what time it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. We've been going for a few hours.
It's been
Good.
3 hours and 20 minutes according to the recording.
Oh,
Okay. Does everybody...
yeah.
I
Alright.
love
I really
haunted
want to
houses.
stab the book.
Haunted houses are scary.
Yes, they are.
Like,
I
They're
love
the
it.
worst.
That's why I made a gothic character.
Yep.
Woo!
So, Kim, all of that diabolical, maniacal laughing I was doing in the office during the week, I was working on this house.
So that's what you were drawing.
Yeah! I was drawing a map of this house.
Ugh. Makes me think of the like the start of Curse of Strive. They have that like ghost house. Makes me think of that.
Except this house has a lot
Except
more
worse.
going on.
Yeah.
I made sure of it. I just like put into like
Myth.
into like the magic software gatherer and just like filtered and said, show me all the cards from Innistrad, Dark Ascension, Avacyndra's Sword, Shadows over Innistrad, and Eldritch Moon, and I just scrolled through and went, ooh, that's scary, took a screenshot, that's scary, took a screenshot, and then just
Nice.
So what you were doing at work.
worked the creepy art into the premise of the house.
I dig it.
It's
dig it.
great.
So cool.
I love it so much. So, we have 5 people watching us, but it's very late.
Ah.
So I'm not actually sure who or what to raid with these lovely people we have present
Thanks,
with us.
friends.
Thank you very much for sticking with us.
Bring your friends next time. Have a watch party.
Yeah.
I hope you've all had a good time. I'm just going to have a look at who's live under D&D.
I actually don't have anyone live tonight. Only us.
But also for them, we had awesome D&D.
Yeah.
We
Wait,
flipped
really?
over from like angels hunting people to doing like
A haunted house.
haunted
Yeah,
house. to, like,
streaming.
we did like 4 layers of excellent gameplay. It was so
Yeah.
fun.
I'm so glad you
Four layers.
enjoyed it.
Excellent.
We
DM.
could raid Chef Benny.
Oh, is he streaming?
Yeah, Chef Benny is on. He's streaming Mass Effect.
Oh yeah, he was playing that earlier.
Hey,
Yeah.
okay. I think he's done though. It says
It says he's.
I'll just check.
Maybe he's done.
It says that he's offline, unfortunately.
Oh.
A friend
Oh, he is.
of the channel Ash has suggested raiding Nerds of the West, and
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Nerds of the West is a group that we raid quite often.
Hell yeah, let's do Nerds of the West.
Yeah, Nerds of the West are playing Subnautica. So,
Subnautica is cool.
yep. So everybody, please
Drop me a link. I want to see that shit.
Just jump in our Discord and you'll come across.
The Twitch.
Jump into the Twitch,
Yeah.
and you'll come across with us.
So, although still present, please send Nerds of the West our love. We will see you all in 2 weeks' time as we continue the adventure through the haunted house of Archmage Elena Cesani.
This is what I've been working on.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
friends.
Bye, friends.
Come back next week. Bring your friends.
Love you all.
Goodbye. Raid button.
Go.